Tribe up.
I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. This is the part that gets scary. I try to talk, but these niggas ain't hear me. This is the part that gets spooky. They play their role and I'm ending the movie. Yeah, I swear to God. Give me some time from that main bitch, she gon' swallow my nut like it's God semen. Give me some time from that main bitch, she gon' swallow my nut like it's God semen. Completed the puzzle, no missing piece. I'm on a mission like God sent me. I'm on a level that can't be reached. Nigga, I speak like God in me. This is the part that gets scary. I try to talk, but these niggas ain't hear me. This is the part that gets spooky. They play their role and I'm ending the movie. Yeah, I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. I swear to God, I put the fear of God in these niggas. This is the part that gets scary. I try to talk, but these niggas ain't hear me. This is the part that gets spooky. They play their role and I'm ending the movie. Yeah. Sound like some mafia shit, Jumbo. Uncle Paulie take a nigga for his last ride.
What up, what up, what up? Testing, testing, testing. Chief. You in the building?
Yes. Yes, sir. Hey, we live, bro.
Yeah, I know. They YouTube didn't send out the notifications like they shoulda. But it's all good, y'all. Testing. So I'm gonna let you guys go in. But first I wanna go ahead and hit up something real quick. Let's see who we got first in the building. If you could send it back, you might be able to you might be able to see your chat back there. We got first in the building. We got Kamal Songs in the building. We got Joe 47 in the building. We got a couple people in the building. Now peace family. I'm gonna go ahead and say a little something real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys take it over. But I'll be listening, so let me know if you need to get something going. Now today's show, what do we got going? Today's show is the Amon Squad, the Dagger Squad exposed DNA scam. Now I want you guys to take a good picture at your screen. And again, the information that these people are using. Now this guy right here. I think his name's Bennett, something like Bennett. I forgot his name, but he's the one. He's the founder of the DNA family tree. So he's the founder. I think they use some of his work, and so again they don't understand the political part of what's going on. They don't get it. So it seems like they so buried into trying to bury us that they don't understand the progress, and they don't understand moving the ball and moving the people forward, because it's like all they care about is defeating us. And so they keep using these guys' information, and I wanna emphasize on that a little bit, because it's kind of sad, and it is very dangerous for our people. Now first off, I want to say, like, okay, I want to put a little scenario out there. Just a little scenario. Now, just imagine if you was lost in the desert, right? And you pull up on a gas station. Now, in this gas station, you have Chief Warhorse on one and sitting in a rocking chair, and you have this guy sitting in a rocking chair just looking at you. Now you lost. Who are you going to believe? Who are you going to go and ask directions for? Or better yet, say you lost and you walk into a gas station. there's a neo-Nazi sitting on one rocking chair, and there's a KKK full suited and booted sitting on one chair. And you got a choice to ask for directions, or you got a choice to try to figure out on your own, or listen to your people. Now, what these guys choose to do, they choose to go to the Jews and they choose to go to the KKK to ask because we're lost people. So they're going to them and asking them directions. And they're gonna direct you right to Africa. Say, yeah, you guys over there. Yeah. And so they regurgitating these people's stuff. This is very dangerous, you guys. And this is the second time. This is the second time that we got these guys on record regurgitating these Satan supremacists and these bootleg Jews or whatever. This is the second time they're regurgitating their work. And so now we want to put it on screen. You want to take the red pill and you want to follow your people. You want to follow the road. Chief Warhorse, she lived this indigenous stuff. Now, see, I understand a lot of us, we keyboard indigenous and we backyard indigenous or whatever, but Chief Warhorse, she live it. So who you gonna listen to? You gonna listen to her? Or you gonna listen to the same people we complain about every day? We complain about them, how they're using their corporations to crush down on us. We complain about them every day, but yet we gonna trust them with our lineage? Come on, family. Come on, family. I mean, come on, y'all. I understand this is a wrestling match. This is WWE, y'all. And y'all allowed to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all allowed for y'all squad to win. We get that. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man. Y'all can't keep using these people work as if it's God. Now, before I get in, I want to talk a little bit about DNA. Now, DNA is something kind of very simple. A lot of people try to make it seem like you need some far-out alien-type education to understand DNA. But DNA is nothing more than computer code. And so, but these guys try to make it seem like, oh, man, you need some kind of master's degree. You guys not eligible. You guys don't know what you're talking about. When it's nothing more than computer code. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a website. I'm gonna go to the other camera, see if I can get this in. Oops, my bad. I'm just gonna pull up Google. I'm just gonna pull up Google right now. Okay? If you can see that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get the code off this website. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get this code off this website, and then I'm gonna explain to you how DNA works. Because these guys make it seem like, oh, you guys don't know what DNA is. You need a master's eligible degree and all this. Man, that ain't nothing but computer code, family. Now, as you can see on this website, I tapped into Google's webpage. I tapped into their pretty much their DNA. So it's nothing more than computer code. Now, how DNA works is that there is computers that can pick up different patterns. So there are different patterns that the computer can pick up. It can detect your DNA, and it can pick up certain patterns. Now, what they do is they find out, it's a population game. What population on Earth has this same pattern? So when you go over to Africa and they say, well, there's a large group of people over here in Africa, they have the same pattern. And so they attach you over there. Also, they can say, well, you know, there's a group of Europeans that have this same pattern as well. So then they can say, well, you're part European. But what they're not telling you is that you can do a DNA test on a tree and you can find some patterns of ours. You can do a DNA test on an alligator in Florida, maybe a damn coconut or a battery or some shit. And it might have some patterns of ours. So although the technology can detect the DNA patterns, but it cannot really give you a DNA location, and it's not 100%. And so In the future, it will be, but they ain't there yet. Maybe in the future, maybe. And so this is what they're doing. But they're trying to use big words, and they're trying to make it seem like DNA is you need to be some kind of rocket scientist, and it's nothing more than reading computer code, you guys. So if all you technicians out there and all you computer guys out there, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and you guys know about reading patterns and things like that. And so that's all DNA is. And so, I just wanted to say that, and I'm gonna let the squad killers or whatever they call themselves. I'm gonna let the squad killers go ahead and get it in. But like I said, who are you gonna trust with your history? Are you going to trust this guy, or are you going to trust your own people? I don't know, Chief. If I got a question, Chief, do you think these guys, do you think they really just on some WWE stuff, or you think they really working for these guys? What do you think? Because they should know better.
Hey, peace, brother. Todd Data, the cyborg is in the building. Hey, peace and paradise to all the American Aborigines. Chief Holiday in the building. The truth is here. The truth is here. The truth is here. Shout out to my wife, Paradise. Peace and love to her, man, for all the support, man. All these long hours, man, doing this work, man, that we're doing, man. We're just getting started, man. So, yeah, man, salute to our families, man, that we sacrifice a lot of time, man, doing this right now. So we definitely got to show them some love, man. So peace and love to my beautiful wife, man. And it's rare when you're a man and you can get the woman of your dreams, man. So shout out to me for that. So peace to me, and you got your perfect match. You know, a lot of times, you know, you have people and like you sleep with, and you could be an Aborigine, your wife or your husband is a Pan-African or something. You know what I'm saying? So you know how they say the evenly yoked thing, but yeah, you definitely have somebody, man, that has the same interests as you. So peace and love to her. Yeah, man. Sheesh. Shout out to the family, man. Thank you for coming out. Camo, peace, brother. Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We definitely appreciate that. Though, that as them being curious and wanting to know more. And so that's all I'm taking it, man. I just take this as our brothers are just still under these word spells. You dig what I'm saying? But the interesting thing, though, is that these guys, their crowning achievement to prove that they're Africans, right? Shout out to Garfield. He took 5 DNA tests. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 DNA tests. Y'all follow me? And, you know, yeah, and also, you know, they signed a challenge like, yeah, Chief Holiday, we want to, Garfield will pay for your DNA test. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, right. Shit. Hold on. Did you say 5?
He took 5.
Okay, so now we talking numbers. That's my deal. So if it's so sufficient, why would you need 4 more?
Facts.
That's weird, man. Why
wouldn't one be enough?
Yeah, shouldn't one tell you to? So they don't even believe in that shit, man. They don't believe that shit. They don't believe that shit, pal. They don't believe that shit.
And then they're promoting Rick Kittle's company, right? They're promoting Rick Kittle's company. And you know, I'm just saying though, but listen though, none of that doesn't matter, right? The thing that matters is shout out to Wudjah, right? I said I was gonna put his name in the title. I'll probably go back and put your name in the title because I need you to see this. I need you to understand that we're on your head, man, when it comes to your pseudo teachings and things that you guys are teaching. Now, they're saying, oh, we want to talk to you no more because you declined the DNA test. But we don't hold any value in these DNA tests that are about probabilities. And we're going to get into that tonight, you know what I'm saying, to prove our point that, okay, if you guys are hanging your whole hat of your existence on probabilities, right? And similarities and patterns that you have with people in West Africa, right? And that's what you drawing your whole thing off of. Then you, my friends, are fools. and you guys are pseudo. DNA genealogy testing is pseudo. Period.com. Evolution is pseudo. Just like the brother astutely pointed out. Shout out to Al Power and Jaguar. Oh man, they did something this morning on this channel, breaking down debunking the evolution process. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So hopefully they're gonna be coming on soon. We're gonna get into that information. But right now we're gonna get into this DNA information. And here's the thing, right? They'll say, okay. Oh, I just want to clear something up. So Wudjah, when I called in before, whatever, months back, maybe in last year or something like that, you had said something about autosomal, and you said it wrong, so I didn't understand that. But now you'll say, well, he didn't know anything. He talking about me, didn't know anything about admixtures. He didn't say admixtures. He mispronounced autosomal, right? So I didn't understand what he was saying, right? I didn't understand what he was saying. So then, I went back and said, oh, he could have just said admixture, right? So they try to use these big words to throw us off the scent. And so, oh, look, he didn't know this big word. They don't know about nucleotides and polypeptides and all this dumb shit that don't matter. That the only thing that matters is when we say, okay, if you're doing a paternity test, right, you can go direct genealogy, mother to mother, right? That's a whole different thing. You could test the similarities, and you can eliminate one of the two fathers out of the equation, because you follow what I'm saying. So it's a little bit more precise. But when you start getting into a little bit more genealogy things you're trying to go down, you're missing a lot of the information. You're not being able to get the information from your other ancestors that would have made you up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a science that has not been proven. It's just a bunch of probabilities and bullshit that they can't prove. So I want to get into the video, and we tried to play it the other day, but I want you guys to hear from them. And like I said, 60 Minutes did this video, right? And here's the only evidence. This is the only thing that these guys could say to this video is that it was 7 years ago, which is that's fine, but nothing has changed in these 7 years other than Rick Kittles is getting more samples of people in West Africa, right, to match people up with in America. Well, guess what? If we started a company, me and Ty Data started a company, right? We called it AsianAncestry.com, and we started to find similarities between us and people in Asia. We could start selling people whole Asian ancestry and stuff like that, right? Because remember, we are connected to all the Aboriginal people on this goddamn planet, man. So it's just craziness. You know what I mean? How people are just saying certain things. And also, if we can directly tie ourselves to this soil, to the trees, to the birds, the bees, and everything that's roaming around here, right? We can, you know how, like, okay, well, let's say, okay, that you live in a certain environment, right? And then you got to eat certain things like the honey in that environment, whatever, to help with your allergies and certain things, right? Our DNA is attached to this land. We sprung from this soil.
Right. Just
right? And if
take some dirt. Take some dirt and do a DNA test on that.
Fact.
You're gonna find some patterns. You're gonna find a pattern. You're gonna find something.
Yeah, you're gonna find something, and they know that. I've even heard them say that. You can get similarities between us and bananas. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Well,
You can.
Right. So guess what? If we have similar things that will only grow here in America, like cocaine, you know what I'm saying, like tobacco, you know what I'm saying, that's in our DNA structure. That comes from us. That comes from here. Like us, we sprung from the soil. We come from the oceans, primordial seas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I want to get into this video though, bro, and then we'll come right back after that and kind of get back on this beat down on this DNA.
Yeah, let me explain a little bit. Somebody said it's not a hoax. I work with a little bit with computers, and so I can tell you just with working with computers, you can ask a computer technician. You can go to Best Buy, ask Geek Squad. You can if you know computers, then you will be able to understand DNA. If you don't know computers, and all you doing is going off what these people say, then that is a big problem for our people. Now think of yourself as a general, and you have to take care, you know, 40 plus million something people. What are you going to do about their future and their history? Are you going to do it off the Jews and their DNA tests, or are you going to try to figure out for yourself? Now, let's say it's not a hoax and it's real. We still have to do it ourselves. We still cannot take these people's work, and we cannot take their word for it. This is what a lot of people don't understand. So even if it's 100% real, we still can't trust them with it at the end of the day. So you wrong twice. You see what I'm saying? And they don't get that. It is more than just science. It is very, very political, and it's even deeper than political. I don't even know. I can't even come up with a word for it yet. You see what I'm saying? And they don't understand that. You're dealing with some people's future, and you're dealing with the future of the babies and the future of a kind of people. So we take this stuff very seriously. We understand a lot of people got money invested. A lot of people got pride and ego and all types of stuff. It's a hard pill to swallow, family. It is a hard pill to swallow. But we have to get away from their information, and we have to do our own research. Now, if we do our own research and we get a DNA, which we pretty much gonna have to with once we incorporate and get things together, then we can see 100% else, and then we can say, you know, this is this and that is that. But until then, I'm not finna take that guy's word for it. I'm sorry. That guy sitting right there by the blue pill, I would not take your word for it. I don't care. I would not take it. I would take the sisters. I would take her word for it. She's living this. And so if you get lost and you walk into a restaurant and want to ask for directions, and you go to this man right here, you all for it. That's good for you. But I'm going to her, and I'm asking her directions. So let's go ahead and get into this video.
Hey, I want to say something real fast about it. I want to say something about that real fast, though, right? Now, the psychology of our people, right, has what majority of us will ask that man for directions and trust him, you know what I'm saying, and trust his word, you know what I'm saying?
DNA testing can...
You know what I mean? So I think it's interesting. We'll go ahead. Let's get into the footage.
DNA testing can determine where in Africa our forebears were from. Among those using the test to trace their family's past, Spike Lee, Oprah Winfrey, and actor Isaiah Washington, one of the stars of Grey's Anatomy.
Brother Washington, for your mitochondrial DNA, it's quite common among the Mende and Temne people in Sierra Leone.
Trace their ancestry back to Africa, a history totally lost to them.
If you think about young African Americans growing up thinking that the history started with slavery, I mean, how do you think that impacts their psyche? We went through slavery. We didn't start with slavery.
To Vi Higginson, the prospect of tracing even a tiny fraction of her ancestry back to Africa was enthralling. 60 Minutes sent her DNA to African Ancestry, as well as to several other genetic genealogy companies, to see what they could tell us about Vi's maternal lineage.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat.
Kittle's company sent Vi what they call a certificate of ancestry.
Oh my God.
It says that you share maternal genetic ancestry with people from the Mende tribe in Sierra Leone. Do you know anything about Sierra Leone or the Mende people?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
People have been waiting a lifetime for something like this. Now, this is just a tiny bit of information now.
But they take it as huge.
Right, because it's cracking open the door that was closed for centuries.
There's a place in Africa you could say that I'm from.
Hold on, fam. I gotta rewind that again. We gonna have to get this clip. Somebody do a video on this clip right here. There's a place in Africa I can say where I'm from. That's fucked up. Hold on 1 second.
There's a place in Africa you can say that I'm from.
Look at her voice, man. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Y'all see how lost our people is, fam. Do you see this woman? She's an elderly woman. She's literally crying because they told her she was from a country in Africa. You see what I'm saying? That's sad, family. That's sad. But let's go ahead, man. Man, dude, that hurt.
A tribe? I am thrilled. It puts a name, a place, a location, a people. It opens up such possibilities.
But the problem is, Sierra Leone wasn't the only answer Vi got. A company called Relative Genetics found a match to a single person in the Wobi tribe in the Ivory Coast.
Different? Different. Now, I got all excited about that, and this is different. Now, how could that happen?
Then a third company, Trace Genetics. Your particular sequence matches sequences reported among multiple Mendenka individuals in Senegal.
What's up with this?
And Family Tree DNA, the company that linked Vi with Marion in the first place, came up with a whole list of matches. This goes on and on.
My goodness.
So what do we know about Vi's ancestry? The DNA does indicate that she has distant relatives in the Mende tribe, but she also has relatives in all those other tribes. So no one can say for sure where Vi's maternal ancestor actually came from. When I handed Vi the certificate, she got extremely emotional about it. She wept, and it meant so very much.
People want to believe.
They want to believe they've gotten an answer.
And it's not fair of us to let them believe that we're giving them certain answers, because scientifically, we just can't.
Hank Greeley is concerned that the science isn't really there yet for you to be giving them the name of a tribe.
I think for most companies, I would be concerned too.
But what about your own company?
We have
He
the
didn't
largest...
exclude you. He included you.
But we have the largest set of sequences from Africa. And so with that, we're able to provide some level of probability in terms of frequency.
But he would say that even though you have the largest database, it's still small on the scope of things.
As I said, I share those concerns.
About yourself.
Our DNA.
And that's the rub. This business of genetic genealogy is fraught with limitations. For one thing, it can only provide information about a tiny fraction of our ancestry. Because we get half our DNA from our mothers and half from our fathers, almost all of our DNA gets shuffled and remixed every generation, making it impossible to trace what comes from whom. There are just 2 bits of DNA that remain pure: the Y chromosome, which passes directly from father to son, and something called mitochondrial DNA, which passes unchanged from mother to child. Hank Greeley, a law professor at Stanford University, has studied this new field. He worries that people don't realize just how many ancestors they actually have.
8 generations ago, both you and I had 256 great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents.
Wait, you're saying that if you go back 8 generations, we have 256 great-great-great-grandparents?
Yes, it doubles every generation. So you've got 2 parents, you have 4 grandparents, you have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, and it adds up fast. It adds up so fast, in fact, that if you go back 20 generations, you've got over 1 million grandparents.
1,048,576 to be exact. And in each generation, DNA testing can provide information about only 2 of them.
So you could be Peruvian on your mother's 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 side, Japanese on your father's 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 side, Swedish on everything else.
And you'll never know.
And you'll never know the Swedish from the Y chromosome or the mitochondrial DNA.
Now, you've looked at several of these companies that are doing these tests.
Yes.
Do you think that they explain what you just explained to us?
No. I don't think any of them does as good a job of pointing out the limitations. But, businesses often don't go around telling you how weak their product is.
We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service. If you're interested in exploring a tiny bit of your DNA and trace its ancestry, we can do that.
When you say it's a tiny little amount,
it's less than 0.1%.
And that's pretty teeny.
Yeah, but for people who know nothing about any of them, I think it's very important.
Yeah, he's right about that. For people that don't know nothing about nothing, that little 1% can make you think you from Sierra Leone, fam.
Well, it's less than 0.1%.
Right.
It's not point. It's less than 0.01%. Not 1% Wudjah. And he said that 1% is 100% of something. He said some dumb shit. But people was in there, yeah, Wudjah, that's right. I'm like, yo, that's not right. That's pseudo. And what you're talking about is pseudo. They talk about probabilities. Probability means it's not a fact.
Right, but
DNA is pseudo.
But the best part of the whole thing is when he said at the end is that for people that don't know, so they know you don't know. You see what I'm saying? And they Facts. and they're providing you with a service. This is what he said. He said we're providing them with the service. For people who don't know, we are providing them with a service. Hell, I can do that. Shit, I just take a dart on Africa and just say, yeah, man, you from there. You know what I'm saying? You just better off just taking a dartboard and just telling people, hey man, I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? But that's the most important part of the video is at the end when he said these people, you know, they don't know where they from, so we're providing them a service. So they're making money off of you. They giving you a scam. You see what I'm saying? Well, actually, it's not really a scam because they are giving you a service on some lost people. So technically, that's not a scam if you know dumb enough to take it or whatever. But it could be pretty fun though. It is pretty interesting though. I gotta get that. It's pretty interesting and it's pretty fun. Something you can do with your kids for fun. But I wouldn't tell a whole nation of people, hey man, go get your DNA fam and you can tell the truth where you from. Come on, man. They can't do that. I understand. It's cool for the kids. You know what I'm saying? For a couple people, it's fun. It's cute. But man, you dealing with 40 plus, 80 plus, you know what I'm saying, 100 plus million people. We can't go off that. I'm sorry. But where your people at? Where your people at? I'm finna go ahead and fade out.
Thompson wants to say you need like 10 more minutes, man. Yeah, it's been him and App House coming in a second. Did I have another video on there? Did I call it?
David Imhotep.
Yeah, let's get into that right now. And then we'll come back to the DNA after that. So let's get into this David Imhotep. Because this is one thing that they're trying to make, you know, I feel like this right here, they haven't done enough research to try to critique Dr. Clyde Winters or Dr. David Imhotep, or definitely talk about retiring. They came before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. So we're gonna be getting to that tonight, y'all, into their works, and you know, we feel like we are qualified enough to critique any of our contemporaries' work. So shout out to those brothers. Let's get into this Dr. David Imhotep, who has the first and probably the only, as we speak right now, PhD in ancient African studies. So keep that in mind, man. The truth is here.
Good things happen when you have an environment of commitment and dedication. Not just talked about, but lived. Lessons of our past, issues of our future.
Okay, we learned a lot in school about 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue and all that stuff. But you know what? There were Africans before Columbus, and we've got Dr. David Imhotep to tell us his history lesson that we need to know. Welcome, Dr. Imhotep. And I should say you have a PhD in ancient African history.
That's correct.
And that's kind of unusual.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. How did you get interested in this area?
It was part of my dissertation led this way, but I could not vary to another subject when my other subject is here. So I said, later on, I will write something about that because it's not important in my dissertation at this moment. So that's why I did the book as soon as I finished my dissertation.
Wow, and we should say, we have a picture of the book too, and it's the first Americans were Africans, and we were talking about Dr. Ivan Van Sertima because I remember back in the 1980s, my dad took me to hear him. He came here to Cincinnati, and his book was They Came Before Columbus, and he talked about you know, how Africans were here. He had a lot of, great research information, and so it was just kind of eye-opening but we haven't heard a lot about that recently. So tell us how you got involved here.
Well, I'm showing that Africans not only came before Columbus, they came before the Indians.
So you're going even farther back.
I'm going farther back, at least 56,000 years old.
Okay, now we've got a graphic up here about 130,000 years ago.
Yeah, well, they sailed over here. And when I lecture, people say, well, wait a minute, humans weren't sailing, let alone they weren't boating 130,000 years ago. And I beg to differ. Last year, New York Times quoted the BBC, and they wrote an article on how in Crete they have found a stone industry of stone tools going back to at least 130,000 years. And Crete has been an island in the middle of the Mediterranean for 5 million years. So they had to sail, and it was a continuous civilization, which means they were going back and forth. They knew how to navigate. So if they got to Crete 130,000 years ago, it's easy 70,000 years later that they could make it to the Americas at 56,000 years ago.
Right. That's really, now how did you even get back to this research? I mean, this is just, you know, did you start by reading They Came Before Columbus, and then you expanded on that research?
Yes. You see, that was 36 years ago, Dr. Van Sertima's book came out, and this information is piled on for 36 years. So many different things, so many cutting-edge articles and things have been found since then.
Yeah, and so, and what's the reaction you get when you talk about how Africans came here even before Native Americans?
People are amazed. They're shocked. They're shocked. First come shocks, and then they're smiling, and some frown, of course.
And then, you know, and what about the school systems? Because, you know, have we gotten this information to the educational system?
Not yet. The book has only been out for a month and a half.
And what kind of feedback are you getting, though, when you go around and talk about this? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing lectures around the country.
Yeah, well, I always bring my peer-reviewed articles.
Okay.
Because my thesis, which is the same as my title, The First Americans Were Africans, is backed up by 7, soon to be 8, peer-reviewed journal articles, which is the height of academia.
Wow. And so you've got credibility. I mean, people can see this research. What do you think? Do you think this is going to change history at all?
Well, for hundreds of years in Europe, people thought the world was flat, and it took a while for them to be able to say the world was round in order to go out there and navigate and see that it was indeed round. So it's going to take a little while for them to get around this, but it will happen.
Well, and tell us a little bit about these Africans who came before the Indians, before Columbus.
Okay, they came here, and they were first. They came to Pedra Fiorida, which is northeastern Brazil, and you'll see that that's the closest point from Africa to South America. And by canoe, a fellow, a navigator who was a doctor, wanted to prove that it could be done just in a canoe, and he set out in a canoe with a supply ship, but it did not touch him. He had a canoe with no oars, no paddle, no sail, nothing. He just sat there, and the currents took him straight from Africa to here. You've heard about people, if you throw a bottle in the water with a note, it'll come over. Yes, there are rivers in the ocean, currents, and it took him 52 days only. So you put a large sail on that vessel, and you get here in less than a month.
So it's definitely possible. We know that. It's physically possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what part of Africa were the Africans from who came to Brazil?
Well, the DNA, the Genome Project has found that the earliest ones, the ones that they found in Tierra del Fuego, in the very tip of South America, in 1874, 1876, were the short Africans, the Khoisan, who spoke with clicks, like that. The Gods Must Be Crazy did a movie on that.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yes. So they have
about the Coca-Cola bottle that fell in, yeah.
Yes, they have the oldest DNA and the oldest language on the planet, and they were all over.
Oh, wow.
All over all 3 Americas, as well as Asia.
Well, have they done any DNA tests in Brazil to see that?
Yes, they have. The Genome Project went all around the world. There are 100,000 people participated.
Wow.
Taking DNA swabs.
And so first we know that it's possible to get over here by canoe, and second of all, the DNA from that group of Africans is in Brazil.
The most important thing, not to forget to ask me, well, I will tell you that, where do the Native Americans come from? Well, we've always been taught that they came across the Bering Straits from Asia. This is true, But they did not come until 3000 BC. There's no evidence of them coming before 3000 BC. So for 53,000 years, there were nothing but Africans in North, Central, and South America.
Wow.
When they come over 3000 BC, those two groups, the Africans and the Mongolians, get together, the Asians, get together, and their children are the Native Americans.
Wow.
This is why the Native Americans do not look Chinese. They are a little different than Chinese.
Right. Oh, that's, you know what, I mean, we need to learn. It makes a lot of sense,
Yes.
Dr. Imhotep, and we need to learn our history.
Yes.
So I think it's fantastic that you've written this book, and I know people are wondering, how did they get the first Americans were Africans, documented evidence. I love this. And it's by Dr. David Imhotep. How do we get this book? I have a phone number.
Amazon.com.
Okay, Amazon.com.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's easy. Amazon.com. And Jeff is saying, give us that phone number, too, to order the book. And I have 540-772-1943.
That is correct.
Okay, so that's another phone number, 540-772-1943.
Because I do presentations for books, well, 150 slide presentations, and that's where my people get me through my website, which is historictruth.info,
Okay.
historictruth.info, okay? Or they can just Google my name, David Imhotep.
And I was going to say, of course, we will link you to Dr. Imhotep through WLWT.com, because people, universities, schools can call you
Yes.
to come and speak. This is really important research,
Yes.
and we need to know more about this.
Thank you so much.
So I can't wait to finish reading the book. This is great. The First Americans Were Africans by Dr. David Imhotep. Thank you so much for coming. You have
Thank
to come
you.
back.
Thank you.
All right, stick with us. We'll be back in a moment with...
Okay. Dr. Imhotep. One thing I want to say about that before you go in, fam, is that, maybe what he's saying, just saying that Africans come over here, maybe that's an easier pill to swallow for people, because we're going far beyond him and said, no, we began here and we went to Africa. And so maybe that's just a little too hard pill for people to swallow. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he's in the middle point of saying, no, wait a minute, we from here. So that is a very good thing right there. So that I like that. But one thing he mentioned is DNA test as well. Now what they did in the DNA test, they attached our DNA test to the oldest people on the planet. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they did. They didn't try to say, oh, well, you came from such and such and such. They said, okay, well, we're going to get the oldest DNA we can find, and we're gonna test some people here in America, and we're gonna see if they got some matches. And of course, they got some matches. So he didn't, you know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing as well. And so, but let's not make it seem like, the code, your genetic code, is non-existent and it cannot be read. But what it cannot do, it cannot be placed 100% on a people or a tribe. It can be detected, it can be looked at, it can be seen. Sequences can be followed. But to only do a DNA test on, you know what I'm saying, and say you come from this location, that right there is a scam. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a pretty good video. I never seen that, and I like the part that he's in the middle. His book is halfway there to, you know what I'm saying, to what we're saying, and it's a little more easier for people to swallow. Chief, you here, family?
Yeah.
We got Chief Ratanjan's one. I'm gonna go ahead and step out. You guys take over, do what you do. I'll be listening.
All right. Yeah. Peace, Thompson. What's up, brother? Yeah, you kind of low. Yeah. Let me get a mic check. In another dimension. Yeah.
I'll be right there.
Get a mic check. Yeah, man. Shout out to Dr. David Imhotep. Yeah, I hadn't seen that video in a while, and it was interesting. Yeah, he said that he was mentioning that Africans were selling over here 130,000 years ago. And we talk about that a lot of times when they have the depiction of that on the caves in Brazil when they're depicting boats and things of that nature or whatever, right? So we know that's been a way for people have been, you know, transporting and doing certain things, trading, you know, all over the world for a long time. You know what I'm saying? The way they make it seem that, you know, Africans didn't get over, or black people didn't move until the white man went and kidnapped them and brought them over on boats and went to certain places, whatever. And I just think that's crazy. When we talk about that. Yo. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, still don't hear you, bro. I don't know. Maybe. No. Yeah, he probably gonna come back in here. Yeah. But yeah, selling though, you know, 130,000 years ago, and they're coming up with scientific, you know, things to prove that. Well, once again, we got boats and depictions of selling going back hundreds of thousands of years. So let's say 10,000 years, 13,000 years, but you still can't find none of these boats, these magical boats that brought all these millions of people over here. That's crazy. You can't tell me a shipyard that they were built in, the wood that they cut down to find the building. It's just crazy. Mic check, mic check. Yeah. Still nothing, bro. Yeah, I think y'all can hear me. Ty, can y'all hear me? My mic's been good. I got levels. Got levels over here. Mic check, mic check. Say something.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
man.
family, how's everything going? I have to step out for a sec.
Yeah, he's having some problems with his microphone. So he's coming back in, I guess. Yeah, no, I was just talking about that video, Dr. David Imhotep. I haven't read the revised. He redid his book called First Americans or Africans, Documented Evidence, right? So he revised it. So there's a part 2 to that. Just so I guess he had made some corrections, upgrades, whatever. I'll say that the main upgrade is just the wording that he, you know, saying that the first Americans were Africans. Well, we know 130,000 years ago, nobody was calling themselves African. It's just facts. And he also astutely said that nobody came across the Bering Strait. That's not even a theory. That's just something that they were trying to use to put themselves in a time period or whatever. That's crazy. And also, this is what Uncle said. They actually made a video about a year or so ago, rebutting something, a video I'd made, basically saying that the Ice Age, the glaciers came down, killed all the black Indians. Y'all, listen to this. Killed all the black Indians. And then the mulatto Indians walked across the Bering Strait on our backs and came down and they replaced us. This is actually a video that your brother and the Amon Rock Frogs put out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, y'all. Monkey squad up. It makes no sense. And so we understand, you know what I'm saying, these things are just they don't have no scientific evidence to back that whole Ice Age theory up, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all ever seen the movie Ice Age, the cartoon, that's them. You know what I'm saying? We might have to find that dude for y'all again. But yeah, that's y'all, man. Y'all that's embarrassing to even tell people that type of stuff. But that the ice came down and killed everybody. And then that's the crossing that the people came over on the ice like that. Yeah, brother still having some problems with his mic, man. You know what's going on. Hey Todd, can you send an invite to Al Power? I'll post it in the back chat. Mic check. But yeah, so a lot of the Bering Strait crossing out of Africa, theory of evolution, all this stuff is tied into social Darwinism, it's tied into eugenics, it's tied into their source of power, man. I mean, I don't know. We don't have to prove. That has a historical time period on it. It's time stamped. They're doing it right now today. They're using racist science that has been definitely outdated a long time ago, but people are still using those same talking points. Oh no, we're going on in the transatlantic slave trade and the migration patterns of the sharks. Who studied the migration patterns of the sharks before that? Like, y'all, come on, man. So y'all had submarines and stuff like that prior to 1492 to study the migration patterns of the sharks. It's just dumb shit. People say dumb stuff all the time. They threw so many bodies out that the migration pattern changed of the sharks. I sucked that up and believed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because those are the stories that tell us, huh?
Yeah, family. See, the thing is that, man, that what's going on is that these claims that we making is very different. Is some very big claims. You see what I'm saying? Most people like to inch their way up to a situation or inch their way up to something that they believe. Not too many people can just cold turkey, just straight up. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up, and you know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to fight the information as much as they can, even though they might secretly believe it, or you know what I'm saying, or even though they might, know that they reciting racist geneticists and racist people information, but it's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, you gotta admit. I mean, just imagine. I could just imagine some of the people who 40, 50 years old and have been told in their life that they came from Africa, and then all of a sudden, it's hard. It's a hard pill, fam. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta admit that, and that's why I'm trying to turn it down, because it is a very hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. And even some of the guys in the little squads and stuff, they know, but it's hard to swallow for them. And so we gotta kind of, at some point, give them a little boost. Give them a little boost. Give them a little boost. Give them a little scoop. Give them something. Give them something. Hold on one second, fam. Can you mute your mic app? Mute your mic app. You know what I'm saying? Give them something. Give them something that'll help them. To help them to swallow this pill, because it's a hard pill to swallow. You gotta admit. It is, but I want to talk about when you transitions. Like, did you cold turkey, or did you just, kind of gradually, how'd you come to your transition from your Aboriginal consciousness? Chief, Ab?
Well, I was born into Aboriginal consciousness. That's what I knew before I went off to college. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't even teaching this African shit in middle school and shit like that, even in high school for me. So I didn't learn this until I went and started learning African American studies in college. Now, so that's just it. That's just it. I got smarter than my grandma. I started doing like him, man. That Jewish guy over my grandmother. And what my grandmother taught me, my first master teachers was our people who taught you how to live, taught you how to eat, taught you how to grow things. You know what I'm saying? That's my first memory. So taking it back to that is, I'm transitioning on, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on 1 second.
Is that, taking it back to where I was brought into. So
hold on 1
for
second.
me, man, yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Ab, you got a hard echo. You in the car or something?
Hell no,
check.
I ain't in no car.
Okay, yeah, because when we talk, you got a hard echo. Hello? Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. I'm sorry, Chief. Go ahead, fam. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you just got to mute your mics when everybody done talking and shit, I guess.
Shout out to Ab Power, man. Black Aboriginal Power. What it do, brother?
Man, peace, family. Peace. What's going on with it? Halito family. How y'all doing, man? Everybody good?
We're good, man. We just resting up right now, man. Little beat down. Saturday afternoon smack.
Yeah, I know that's right. I'm about to jump off the top rope.
That's right. Old Rey Mysterio on their ass.
Goddamn Randy Savage.
You're
Randy Savage.
Mike check. Peace, A1.
Y'all can hear me? Okay, all right. So I'm good now.
Hey, shout out to y'all, man. I'm gonna mute right now because we got an echo, so let y'all go ahead and get it in. We played. I don't know if y'all seen. We played the Rick Kittles in video with the DNA hoax, and then we came in with Dr. David Imhotep. So we're gonna kind of focus on Dr. David Imhotep, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, and Dr. Clyde Winters. Shout out to Dr. Clyde Winters, man. He putting his work in, man. He's doing his thing. Like I said, I don't focus on the things that we have in the differences. I focus on things we have in common. And like I said, we could powwow together and then kind of clear some of these things up. That's what Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. That's what Dr. David Imhotep. You know what I'm saying? That's what my brother Atanta's one. We come together and kind of, and if I'm in error or something, he say, yo, bro, maybe look at it like this. And that's how we got to do it. We understand that Africa is a socially, politically constructed word that did not exist 130,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Say 45 years ago. You see what I'm saying? It didn't exist here for us or whatever. So we got to examine it. What is it doing and how is it taking us away from power? Because if we're talking about power, Amin-Ra Squad, Dagger Squad, Team Osiris, and any other body that teaches Black power, well, what are you teaching that's going to give us power if you're still teaching social Darwinism and things that put us in a second class in an inferior position as people globally, not just in America, but globally, brothers. So just kind of respond to that, family. A little bit.
You said
yo.
Yeah, I'm with you. You said globally. I mean, we got a lot of scholars that came out there and said what they said, man. As far as even a lot of these new scholars that come, as far as the YouTube scholars and everything, I think everybody play a part. Everybody do what they need to do. But in some cases, a lot of the information is misleading. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a follow. I listen to Dr. Clyde Winters, as well as Dr. David Imhotep. But my research surpassed me to the point to where I know there is no Africa. I know that Africa is not the oldest, because if you got people coming out stating that they have found places, they have found things in this hemisphere to be older than Africa. So you just got to understand that, and then you just got to do your research and try to find as much evidence of what the people look like that was here, because that's the disconnection that a lot of people get. A lot of people, they haven't yet connected themselves to this land because they don't see themselves in the Mongoloids. So every time they show you a picture of Mongoloids, most black people like, man, we don't look nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So you only equate yourself to Africa, but Even if you go into South America, the Caribbean, Brazil, Central America, you see people look just like you. And everywhere you go, you told the same freaking story that these people were slaves. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't really even hear about slaves took into Mexico, even though that they tell you people escape from Texas or whatever you want to call it or whatever into Mexico. But you know, a lot of people were being imported from the island of Espanol to Mexico and South America. But tonight, what I want to touch on, I want to get my chance to respond back to the Amin Ra squad. Now, I mean, before I really go in, because I'm gonna probably need about like maybe 30 minutes to really go in. So, I mean, if y'all want to get y'all spills out or whatever before I go in.
Yeah, I just want to ask you a quick question. I want to know if do you believe that they really believe that these Jews and these clan members, do you really think that do you really think these squads really think we should put our history and our future in their hands, or you think they just own the WWE stuff just for views and stuff?
Bro, I you know what? Bro, I don't know, man, at this point in time, because even like I told Chief, bro, look, now I'm gonna touch on what Brother Unk said. Brother Unk told me when I was on, when we was going back and forth on the side that on the scholar, I guess the scholar corner, he said that the pyramids in Peru are 2,600 years old. Now he failed to mention. Now he's supposed to be a scholar, you know. They call other people pseudo. He failed to mention that one little thing he left out, that it was 26 BC. It wasn't 2,600 years ago. It's 2018, so that must mean it was 1582 BC when it was made. No, it was made 2600 BC. You see how that works? And he failed to leave that out. So when these guys first they will say, all right, well, oh, you don't believe in peer review studies. Then they will go to an article that you got other evidence, then you know it's pseudo. You know it's pseudo. So yeah, I mean, these guys been listen, bro.
Fam, I think you cutting out.
When massive people already came and said that is phooey. The revolutionary theory is phooey. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then try to say, well, oh, our ancestors in Africa or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they studied they knew about the evolution theory and all this other crap. They just be making stuff up as they go along. And they try to find as much scholarly information. Then if you bring scholarly information, they will tell you that it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It's only about their opinion. And that's pretty much what this shit is about, man. That's why tonight, like I said, when y'all guys get done doing what y'all do or whatever, just give me like 30 minutes to go in on this, and I'm gonna bust the Amin Ra squad dead. I'm gonna bust them wide open, especially on his pseudo claims. And Garfield ain't no fucking scholar. Garfield is a damn reggae singer. And no, you know what I'm saying? No offense to nobody, you know what I'm saying? But you can't.
He's a what?
He's a reggae singer, man. He's not no damn scholar. He's somebody who could pick up a book. He could pick up a book and get along other people who agree around the same thing. But when people start opposing of it, he can't. He don't. A lot of people, when they start opposing of your views, they don't know how to, adapt. They'll not adapt to that new information that's coming out and at least do the research. Look, if I put the information out that Peru is older than Egypt, you can find that is not the hardest thing. You ain't gotta go to no 15, $20 website to
That's
find
right.
out whether or not this is true. You can go get source the information of the people putting it out there. Now, Ruth Sadie got a couple of different articles, as well as the Adin culture. If you look up the Adin culture, Andean culture, CAL, you know how I spell culture. I don't need to go in there. But one of the main researchers in which brother reference was a lady named Ruth Shady. Okay, you look up Ruth Shady. Now he's reading to me, telling me that my article is pseudo, but at the same time he's telling me that she said that the pyramid, that the civilization in Peru dates back to 2600 BC. Now we know BC means before Common Era. Okay, well that's BCE, before Common Era, and we know AD means animal dynamis or whatever in the year of the Lord. Okay, so understand this: 2600 BC, it go from 2600 all the way to 1. Then when it go to 1, it goes all the way from 1 up into whatever date we at now. We at 200. We at 2018. Now look, my research found out that them pyramids are much older than 4,600 years ago. Okay, but if you go look and see the Egyptian pyramids. The Egyptian pyramids are not older than the pyramids in Peru. Now we can sit there and say, well, damn, you know what? They might be older because I have studied the brother Wayne Chandler, and Wayne Chandler have said that them pyramids in Egypt are older than, he says, like 75,000 years. So if he say 75,000 years, then the pyramids in Peru are around the same age or older. But no, they are older. They're around the same. They could be 7,600 years, and they still older than the pyramids in Peru. In the pyramids in Egypt. So with that, I yield the mic until I get an opportunity to present the evidence.
That's what's up, bro. Shout out to Al Power, man.
Peace, Al Power, peace.
Ab, what's up, bro?
If you have one of these, then dry you will remain. Hold it above your head.
Mic check, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
What is going on? I can hear you.
Okay. All right, yeah. We gotta get into this. What's the biz? Peace, everybody, man. About to go to this. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the building. There we go. Okay, there we go, yeah. What's the twos for? Two meaning we can't hear. Can y'all hear now? Can I get some ones? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear? Shout out to Joe 47 in the building. Peace to American Aboriginal Girl. Kato.
Yeah, fam, you good. You good. I can hear you. You good.
Okay. He said them Pan-Africans are more interested in the wealth of its resources. They are not interested in the land or the people. That is an absolute fact. Shout out to Alicia, American Aboriginal. Peace, Queen. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Like, share, man, with somebody, with everybody, man, on any other forms of social media that you have. Shout out to Camo Songs in the building. Peace to Kawa. Big Uga to everybody, man. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. We're gonna get more into this, into what we were talking about, right? Now we went into the DNA thing, right? Now listen, there's no possible way they know that genealogy DNA is inadmissible in court. And then when you say that, they say, well, that's the red herring. Red herring? No, they tried to use it in court before. It didn't work. You know that. So it's not a red herring, Wudjah. That come on, man. These guys are just so disingenuous. Shout out to Seeker of the Truth, Windy City in the building. Peace, peace, Queen. Thank you for coming out. Joe 47 with that like that logo, man, with that root skin, red skin right there. That's dope. Yeah, if y'all ever look up the term red skin and just start getting into that science, man, or the color Indian red, that's what that brother would be on that logo would be Indian red, which goes back to chestnut, which goes back to maroon. You know what I'm saying? Now, just like everybody else, we know that maroon, the people wasn't calling themselves fucking maroons, but we understand that was a descriptive term of the people. It's just basically browns, like the Cleveland Browns or Maroons or the Washington root skin, red. Red comes from brown. It's a derivative of brown. See what I'm saying? They just started changing words. They didn't call us red at first. So that red goes back to the German root, the root. Yeah, okay. Anyway, shout out to Joe 47. Thank you, brother, coming out, man. Diehard Redskins fan. That's right. Yeah, we shout out to Chief Z, man. Rest in power, man. That was one of my favorite. Even though I was a Cowboy fan growing up, because I didn't have no sense, y'all. I was probably a little coon or something. But anyway, you know what I mean? We so indoctrinated into the America's team and Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach and all these fools, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was just, I guess I got caught up in all that stuff. But, yeah, man, I used to just love, as a little boy, man, I used to see Chief Z, you know what I mean? And he was representing the Redskins. He was like the mascot for the Redskins, and they was putting it in our face even back then. And so rest in peace to him, man. He's definitely an icon, man. I would definitely like to see somebody take that over. So maybe Joe 47 might start. Like I say, you in Texas, Joe? He's still a Redskin fan. That's right. We all should be tapping back into that science. Absolutely. Peace, and love to the family, man. Hey, y'all, can y'all hear me? Are y'all there? Thompson's one, Al Power. Are we good?
Yeah. I'm here for a couple minutes. I can hear you. I was waiting for Thompson's one to get his spiel so I can switch screens, and then I can leave.
Yeah. Shout out to Kate. Then started counting up for you. Right. I mean, that's not even a thing, Port Arthur, Texas. Shout out to Port Arthur. PA in the building. And he's still a Redskin fan. That's dope.
Yeah, but peace to everybody in the chat. I put some armor on a couple people, suited and booted. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for being peaceful. You know what I'm saying? So it's been pretty peaceful. So yeah, we appreciate the energy in the room. Let's get it in, y'all. Let's get it in.
Absolutely. What else we got going on, man? Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with these guys right here. I guess they'll be in a minute. You guys there? Can you guys hear us? A1. Al Power.
Yo, I'm right here. Y'all just stepped away, man. I'm gonna be stepping away periodically. So just go ahead. I got you though.
Okay.
I'm right here.
All right. What about you, Al? You there? Hey, Camo said Black Jesus showed my face last night in his live. Hey, man, listen, y'all. Let me turn my camera on for these fuckboys. Let me see. Did I see me? Salute. Love to the family. I got a shave.
Peace.
My beard.
Peace, young fella.
Hey, shout out to everyone. Y'all see them pearly whites. y'all see the braids, man. Little beeswax in there. Just got fresh. Hey, man, listen, man. I don't know what to say with y'all men looking at men, man. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I'm proud of this this Aboriginal skin right here. You know what I mean? See it? See me? Yeah. So, computer. Y'all weird, man. Why y'all always worried about what men looking like, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, that is some wild shit. That Black Jesus, man. He shouldn't be allowed to come on nobody's platform. That nigga, any nigga who mentioned Jesus, man, shouldn't be allowed to go on nobody else's platform. If you even talk about Jesus in 2018, after you heard there ain't no J in Hebrew, Roman, or vocabulary text, and you still running around here talking about Black Jesus Ministries, like, yo, I wish we could just have an eject button and just eject a lot of these clowns off, man. Because like, what was the result of that last night, Chief? I caught some of it. What was the result of this guy coming on in? What did he prove? Nothing, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know what they got going on. You know what
I'm talking about Black Jesus. Didn't he come on in wasn't he on the show last night with y'all?
Yeah, he was on there. He was on some other shit, man. So I don't know what he was on. He's saying that he's definitely moving more towards the Aboriginal mindset, but he's still just like other people. They still would think the whole out of Africa thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're using. That's what they're doing is going all out of Africa, you know what I'm saying? And they're using that as their basis of what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all.
Bro, we sitting here.
Yeah, everything's all good. Peace, everybody. Peace. I can't call it, y'all. I'm just chilling. Peace and blessings. Much love, much bliss to everyone out there. Hope y'all have safe travels on y'all daily commute. But yeah, man, we just gotta keep pushing pressure on these guys, man. And another thing with these so-called scholar corners, man, they ain't really scholars, yo. They want to talk evolution, they want to talk stratus, they want to talk carbon and radiology dating, right? Well, when we start looking at evolution, why do you not never hear them bring up the Cambridge period? See? And that's the fuck shit that I be talking about. They don't want to bring up the Cambridge period, which is the first period that any animals ever pop up, right? But if evolution was real, how come it doesn't have any other animals before this period that it evolved from? How is it just coming up with a whole new genetic sequences to make all these different animals out of nothing? It don't make no sense.
Yeah, man, that's right. Yeah, y'all see the king. Hey, yeah, man, we're gonna definitely be putting together some Aboriginal wear and things like that, man. Start marketing our stuff. So if you got some stuff you guys want us, handsome chocolate men to wear, you know what I'm saying? Send it to us. Y'all know y'all got the number 702-718-2013. That's 702-718-2013, chiefholiday@gmail.com. Y'all see my face. I ain't going nowhere. When y'all come to my city, I can show y'all around. We'll have a good time. Break bread. Around here. So I don't know what these clowns got. I don't know what y'all doing. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to all the haters, man. Don't show this picture to y'all girl. Stop doing it, bro. It's not working for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, shout out to all the Aboriginals, man. Y'all see the work, man. Sheesh, we in the building. It's on the menu now. They can't even talk about nothing. They can't even do shows no more. Y'all can't even talk about Kim anymore. Y'all got to talk about what's going on, because this is what it is. It's hot. It's fresh. It's right now. What y'all talking about is old, tired. It's over. They have the nerve to talk about Dr. Clyde Winters talking about, he tried to say that he didn't want to read a book. He just read the table of contents and whatever went into it. I mean, the brothers, I give him the benefit of the doubt before I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't get it. And I don't know why y'all don't get into the works, into the information. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get into the information. We're gonna get into your information, what you guys teach, debunk that shit, and then we can shine light on what's the real information, what's the real science behind what's going on. And if you guys say that that black people been here for hundreds of thousands to millions of years, and then they try to play little games like, oh, they wasn't anatomically correct humans, blah, 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 blah. Stop all that lying, man. We don't care about none of that. We know we've been here forever, before selling, before all of that. So even when people were so so-called coming here, they were just coming back here because we teach that everything comes from America first. We teach out of America theory, that we have a lot more scientific evidence and older shit here, not just older pyramids. We have older structures here, megla structures, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have. You don't have, look, we can hang our hats on the Olmec heads. You don't have them. You don't have them.
Hey fam, you know what? I just thought about something. Hey, did somebody say that they was taking that cocaine here? Like some mummies or some ancient Egypts was stealing cocaine or something? Is that a real thing, or is that some bullshit? Was they really serious about that?
That's what they use that as the preservative. To preserve the body. Something the cocaine leaves preserve the body. So they got that shit from over here because we was doing this shit first.
So they was stealing cocaine. They was taking cocaine.
They wasn't stealing it, but they was trading. Like that's where the whole barter and all that system came from, man.
So they was they was crackheads. You get Is that for real? Is that for real, or that's just some bullshit, some internet shit? That's for real?
No, it was a lot of that shit going on, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna say a lot of it going on because we really don't know. We don't know how they was using the plant. We know that we don't know if they would use the plant for to get high, but we know that they was using it for medicinal use. You know what I'm saying? We know that for sure. A lot of like cocaine numbs, like, you know what I'm saying, if a person get, like, let's say if you got shot with a bow and arrow, you might need some cocaine or something, you know what I'm saying? Or moonshine. You know they gave you moonshine and shit back then. When you got stabbed, you know what I'm saying, because there wasn't no guns, so you know how niggas probably was playing with knives and shit, having knife fights and shit.
So in other words, their ancestors was crackheads. You bullshit.
I ain't gonna
I'm joking, fam. I'm joking.
I know you're joking, but when I'm saying that, but look, think about it like this, right? Think about this shit, right? Where was the coke? Where was the coca leaves known for? Peru, right? Most people said, oh, that Peruvian. When I was coming up, I heard everybody talk about Peruvian coke all the time. That's all I heard about, or whatever. Right. Peruvian gold and all this other shit, pink coke and all that shit. They said came from over there. What I'm saying is that if Egypt had it, that means that they had to be coming back. They had to be coming back and forth over here. Cause that's a long ass trip too. Think about that.
Facts.
Think about how long that trip is. Think about, because they all the way. Well, I'm just saying, maybe we gotta look at this shit too, right? They're at the top of damn near by Spain. Egypt is not too far from Spain and Portugal, if you really look at it, or whatever. But they all the way at the top of Africa, okay? Peru is all the way on the other side, like damn near the Pacific side. Peru is on the Pacific coast, like, if you think about it.
Facts.
It's on the Pacific coast, but that will explain to you when you start studying. Oh, you start hearing about Queen Coffee and all that. All of that shit was the same empire, man. All that shit had to be the same empire when you start thinking about it. The California Indians, man, all of that shit was around the same thing. And if you look at Peru is like under California. Like it's under California. Peru is like Peru is actually South America, but it's also like, you know what I'm saying, it's on the coast. It's on the Pacific coast. But yeah, man, I mean, like I said, I mean, they was definitely fucking with the mummies with the yayo, whatever you want to call it.
But you know what's crazy though, man? I just don't understand with all the scientific evidence. Hey, shout out to Dr. Clyde Wonders, man. We're gonna have to pull up his one of his videos, either one that he explains the 10 things that prove that he says that Africans that made the journey here to Americas prior to that. But we're saying that everything came from America to there. That's what we're saying. It didn't originate there. That's what we're saying. We're saying that you guys have been taught everything in reverse, even the whole out of Africa theory. You know what I'm saying? So we're putting forth a new theory, not just a multi-regional theory that they try to call it a hypothesis last night. It's still a theory, just like the out of Africa is a theory, just like the multi-regional is a theory, right? Which the multi-regional has scientific facts that back it up to Wudjah. So you guys are just always so disingenuous. We don't teach none of that. We just teach the facts, the science, right? That's all we do. And that we are connected to Lucia. We are connected to these plants here, these birds, these trees, everything. That's what we're saying. We're saying that we did not come on the bottom of slave boats pissing and shitting on each other. Now, we could get into all the science, and that's what we're kind of going to get on tonight with Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. David Imhotep, and Dr. Clyde Winters, right? And I kind of wanted to focus on them because those are the guys that they were coming at. You know what I'm saying? But they come at them without going into their information, going into the book that you're trying to retire, going into Dr. David Imhotep's work. You guys just talk around it like, oh, those guys are pseudo. You guys will say, oh, that book is pseudo, but don't give the evidence to say why is it pseudo.
Right, yeah. So they haven't debunked, because when they was making those claims against Atlantis, they made fun of Atlantis, but they didn't debunk them. And so that's why I feel like these guys, they know what they're doing. They know they got these white supremacy, these Satan supremacy talking points, and they know they putting them on the people. Because a real scholar when Atlantis made that claim, it don't matter where you get that claim from. If you're gonna come on this platform and make a bold ass claim, we gonna make you look stupid, not by taunting you and shit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make you look stupid with you know what I'm saying, with actually data and proof. See, they didn't do that. So that's why I get the feeling that these dudes know that they know exactly what they're doing, and they know they on the side of the Satan supremacists, and they doing it on purpose. But I'm just trying to think if they doing it just for fun, or just because they living good, or they really on their side. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you look at the map, and when you look at this out of Africa map, where is the European on that map? See, when we tell our story, the European is non-existent. We don't talk about morphing into a European or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So the European is dead and center at the top of their map. So that's the best part of the whole Outer Africa thing, is that it places the European at the top of everybody. And I'm trying to figure out if they know that, or they haven't figured that part out yet. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that, Atlantis?
Man, them niggas is agents, man. That's the only that's a fact. Only thing I can come up with, man, because like I said, Onk knew for sure that that article that mentioned Ruth Shady said 2600 BC. Now, it might not even say that. It might have been like more like, because I found, dealing with the Peru pyramids, I found things 3700 BC, 3500 BC, 3000, 3100 BC, etc. Now, when they try to work it down to like 2600 and 2700, they trying to make it identical with Egypt, because if you look at the Great Pyramids of Giza, they say that them pyramids was not built until 26 BC. They try to say both pyramids are built out the same. It doesn't even matter. Like you saying, them pyramids, you got a civilization over there that over here was built before that civilization. Before it, even if they was built the same fucking day or whatever. I mean, I don't believe that. I believe that the pyramids here are much older than, and they got the structures here are way more impressive than them structures over there, man.
That's a fact.
You see these pyramids over here. These pyramids look like they was built these days, like they modern day structures, man. They don't look like they predate, you know what I'm saying, 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, man. You know, so like I said, when them jokers, when Onk seen that, his eyes lit up. He was, oh man, I gotta find a way out of this. But understand this. See, everything cannot be debunked. And this is what anybody who think they can sit up there and debunk everything, you need to get away from them. because that's telling you that everybody information that I present, archaeologists, paleontologists, I'm showing you images, I'm showing you all this shit, and you still find reason to say, all right, well, you giving me your own opinion. That goes to show you I don't need to even talk to you no more, because I'm not, at this point in time, it's like I'm trying to convince you. And I ain't trying to convince nobody, because, like I said, I started out with this trying to convince myself, because I couldn't convince myself that we was over here. But yo, it started off with pictures. Okay, started off with pictures. Then it started off with books, and people say, all right, well, your grandmother said you was an Indian. Then it started off with anthropology. It started off with Luzia, Anaya, the Broad woman, and then it started advancing at that. Because like I said, I didn't know myself until, I'm gonna say, about a year ago, that the pyramids, well, actually I knew that the pyramids in Brazil was older than the pyramids in Peru. Yeah, the pyramids in Brazil are older than the pyramids in Peru. Yes, they are. But the pyramids in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt, even though both of them are. But it's more structures in Peru than there are in Brazil. That's why people don't normally reference that. But yeah, they all over the place. Who knows how old Cahokia is? They try to say Cahokia is 2,100 years ago or whatever. Who knows how old Cahokia is? You see it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so with all these structures, these people is giving you their opinion according. They are doing some type of radio dating or carbon dating, but at the most part, a lot of this stuff, they got to come up with some type of conclusion at the end of the day. So yeah, we can definitely, like I said, before I get out of here, I will show everything I said on the side of the TV or whatever. I told Brother Garfield they found that they found Negro skulls that predate Columbus in the West Indies. That's number one. What I said. I told them about the pyramids in Peru. They laughed at me. Okay, Onk is supposed to be a scholar. He said they 2,600 years. But if you go and Google, you can Google pyramids in Peru. You can find that they from 4,600 till, you want to say, well, no, 2,600 BC to like 3,200 BC. These are the dates that I found with that. So you add 3,200 years on to 2018. You'll get how many years it is. So Brother Onk clearly said it was 2,600 years. Fuck, are you a scholar and you reading the article? You ain't see BC in front of you? That means you ain't read the article. That means he was trying to like present itself like, oh yeah, I've read that before. Yeah, I've seen that information. That's what I'm trying to say. These niggas try to buy what you say, and then they'll Google something. And man, I've been at so many debates, and I seen when these brothers present their information, jokers in the back Googling stuff, trying to find that, man, like that's not a real debate. That's not how you debate nothing. You're supposed to bring your information before you even come. You can't be just finding extra information as a person going on. But nonetheless, though, it really doesn't even matter, because that go to show you, and that's all I'm gonna show you. If Brother Oak is a scholar, then how would he make a crucial error and say that Ruth Shady said that the pyramids are 2,600 years when she said that they are 4,600 years old and older? So, like I said, that alone right there make him not even credible to be a damn scholar. But how is he a scholar anyway when they ain't even know about the pyramids in Peru? They don't know nothing about Chilla Mummy. They don't know nothing about them. They don't know that the civilization in Peru, they had a farming culture that predates almost 11,000 years ago. But they telling you Africa, 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 Africa. And they ain't telling you nothing about see, what happens is this, right? We will automatically get thrown off because we don't know what the people here look like. We think the people here are the people that presented to us now. Half them people are not them people. Most of the invaders, they pushed most of the dark skin, the original Aborigines of South America into places like Belize, Honduras, and further in, even Colombia. Colombia got a larger population of Negroes here. So if we say we got 60 to 80,000 Negroes here, Colombia is the second largest population, supposedly outside of Africa, that has the second largest population of melanated people. You got, I guess, Africa, then you got Brazil, then you got Colombia, then you got North America. So they try to tell you so, but all up in South America ain't nothing but Negroes up in there. Nothing all up in there.
Yo, so check this out. Shout out to Camo, right? But he says, I feel like Dark Man tries to separate mainland from island. He says he's just keeping it 100. I'm starting to kind of think that way too, man. But I think that we got to sit back and kind of see where he's going with that. We had a brother on yesterday. We might have to get him back on to do a more extensive research. I mean, a more extensive interview. But he's Jamaican, and he identifies as being Pequot, and he understands that his people was taken from the mainland of the Americas to the damn islands. You know what I'm saying? That's just a thing. So we're not trying to separate from nobody, and anybody that's doing that, you know, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I guess you can just speak for yourself, but we're not trying to separate the people. And we feel like everybody should have their niche. If that's your niche and you're gonna focus on the islands and things of that nature, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not nothing to start separating the family from. So I think that's some sucker shit. Please stop it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make the distinction between us and the brothers and sisters on the islands. I don't do that, and I don't think nobody else should be doing that, because that's just slow. Because we understand that we were moving around and long before they even got here. So prior to they even got here, we was swimming back and forth to the goddamn islands. So stop all that madness, man. Shout out to the family.
Yeah.
The truth is in the building. The lady. 5813. Absolutely.
And they don't want to talk about that. Our mummies is also older than any mummies that's found over there in the Eastern Hemisphere, yo. Like, period. Like, the Egyptian mummies, yo, only going to like the first dynasty, 34 BC, right? We got something going back at least 8,000 years. That's a fact. So, you know what I mean? So if we was doing mummies before you guys, and then you look at the other evidence that's coming forth, like we got older pyramids than y'all, right? And then we showing other shit like, damn, we got older agriculture than y'all, right? So I mean, we got all the right information to go ahead and jump to the conclusion that life wasn't started in Africa, right? So if y'all can't even sustain probable structures, right, within a certain period, and you can't sustain food for a certain period, then that's a problem. Because we got to understand, in the city of Corral, right, in Peru, was in a desert. So there's no excuse for other countries in Africa that's in the desert to not have a metropolis. Because they even compared it to the Garden of Eden, right? Because of the large agriculture and life that they had. They was growing. You know what I'm saying? These people took pretty much a down tiller or a backhoe, drug a line, right? From the creek or from the riverbed, whatever they was using, right? Downhill, to create their agriculture. So these people had science. And then if we want to get into the pyramids, right, that's dating back, I give it take 3000 BC, right? How long was the science around before it was even occupied? So, I mean, come on, man. You guys got to get out of that whole out of Africa theory, because that's slow. How y'all going to be the first, but y'all the last to do anything? It doesn't make any sense. So, you know, that's just pretty much what I got to say. I'm going to give the mic.
But yo, you know, when they talk about, you know, man coming out of water, and this planet is predominantly covered by water, and at one point in time it was probably fully covered by water, and it was also, we've been here so long that it was more land shown also. You know what I mean? Like, they actually have pyramids under the ocean. It's just a fact. I don't know what else to say. Fisher, a dude that was in his yacht, found one not here recently off the coast of in these islands, the Valdez island. They got 140 pyramids on the islands off the coast of Portugal. And they found one under the water that's huge, they said. You know, they haven't dated it. So here's the thing, y'all. If they talk about man came out of the water, well, there was water all over the planet. And different people would have rose out of that water. Different people would have sprung from places. The same thing, like, you know, you got tigers over here, and, you know, you got lions over here. You got eagles over here. You got certain things over here. So it's just, you have to look at it like that if you believe in what you guys believe in. That don't make sense. But we've been so long, there's no date on this. So at some points you have to be like, well, you know, we don't know. The evidence is not there.
You're right. That's just like the pyramids they found in Guatemala, right, Chief? The big ones in El Mirador, right? They haven't even got the date in those. But what they have told you is that it went through several reconstructions. Thousands of years ago, they was reconstruction. All right, this wasn't gonna work. This shit fucking up. They gonna fix this. This was they was doing, and it was covered up. You see what I'm saying? It was so big. They claimed that the base of it is the size of Los Angeles.
Facts.
A pyramid with other pyramids on it. As you go up, come on, man. Who can explain that, yo? This got anthropologists and archaeologists baffled. A pyramid so large than one of our largest cities with other pyramids on it on the way up. Come on, man.
Yo, bro, look how much and people it took to create just a regular size pyramid. Like, think about it. You had to been able to feed these people to work. And that much energy doing that. You know what I'm saying? You had to have deaths. You had to have people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would be expending a lot of energy to build these structures. So for them to be that big as mountains, you know what I'm saying? And these are all over the world. All over the world. Now, next thing they're going to be saying, because they're trying to say that they're finding pyramids now in Greece that might be older than anything on the planet, and another one in Romania somewhere. I mean, listen, we were everywhere, y'all. So I don't care where they find wherever at. That's us. We are the Aboriginal people of this planet. Now, we just happen to be in America and put into a social political construct that we didn't start. So we have to work within that, and that's why we are attaching ourselves to Aborigine, American, Indian, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So I just think American, I think we have to definitely attach ourselves to these things. Shout out to Wudjah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then another thing is they gonna have to start showing some proof off of the shit they say, man. They just can't be uttering shit out their mouth and not showing any documents, no proof, no data to back up their claim, man. This shit is totally preposterous. And they talking about pseudo. Hell, we showing all the evidence. We showing data after data after data, yo. So I'm just saying, when are y'all gonna start showing some stuff? You know what I mean? Like the scholar corners. Like, what is it gonna take? You know what I'm saying? Like, when are y'all gonna produce a slave boat? You know what I'm saying? During that time period that they say the transatlantic slave trade happened. You know what I mean? I don't really want to get on that topic, but I want to see it produce a boat. I'm not saying that it ain't happened. Just produce a boat.
I can't.
If we were slaves, you know what I'm saying, at one point in time that we were set free, produce a freeman's paper. Saying y'all family was free. I ain't saying it didn't happen. You right? I just want to see the proof, yo. So that's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? And that's just like y'all don't really disagree with the shit we saying, right? Y'all mostly agree. Y'all just want to see the sources. Y'all just want to see. I mean, that's what y'all want to do. We gonna show it to you from multiple angles, from the same people y'all want to do it with. You want to do craniology? We can get it with that way. You want to do radiology? We can get it with that way. You want to do solar LiDAR? We can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? You want to do the carbon dating? We can do it that way. and that's what they was pretty much dating the materials that in corral. You know what I'm saying? So they can only go off what they had that was organic material. And most of these pyramids down there were built out of rock and shit. You know what I'm saying? What is known concrete or what they call adobe, right? So they can't really be tested. So they only going with the wood that's in the structures, which could have came afterwards, way later. You see what I'm saying? So they can only use what carbon dating, what they can do. That's why I say that they go back a lot farther than that, because you know what I mean, the carbon dating can only go back 14,000 years, period. And that's under great conditions. And we all know shit could be faulty. That shit out there in the weather getting warm. Shit, we know the atmosphere changing with that carbon 14. So, you know, let's start looking into these things, man.
But you know what though? They ain't got nothing to debunk that, because they never heard that before. They never heard nobody. They wasn't prepared for nobody to tell them that the pyramid was older. And then they ain't prepared for nobody to talk about no pyramids in the water. See, a brother like Garfield, he sound real good, whatever. But until people go look him up and say, yo, this nigga's pseudo, yo. Because how is this man telling you something and we just look it up for ourselves when we see it? But your belief gonna make you believe that the pyramids in Egypt are older just because you automatically been told to believe that. You've been told, motherfucker, go all the way past Africa. The last country in Africa. That's the only country got pyramids. The last country in Africa, all the way on. I mean, well, we know Africa is connected to Europe or Asia. We know it's connected to Asia. We definitely know that. But the last country, Sudan and Egypt, and they are in the northern corner. So out of all, what happened to the rest of the countries? Why none of the other countries got pyramids? Well, we got thousands of pyramids over here, and we got pyramids in Louisiana, on the Mississippi. We got plenty of mounds. We got pyramids in Wisconsin under the water, as well as the pyramids in. I'm starting to think it's more pyramids, man. I'm starting to think it was pyramids in California as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, a lot of them structures up there, the mountains and everything. I'm sorry, say that again.
No, right. You're absolutely right. They section certain stuff off that people can't go to it. They also plant trees to cover it up. You know what I mean? Or a lot of stuff is in the rural areas that they just don't have roads that's going into like that. So you have to track into it. But we have pyramids all over Northern America, in every continental state, Alaska, we have pyramids. Period. And they know
maybe even Kentucky.
Yeah, you know what? I do recognize one thing. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I noticed that they cherry pick Africa a lot. Like, cause Africa got, a lot of, Africa is very big and they got a lot of different cultures, and it seems like they cherry pick they try to take the best cultures and the best period, and they highlight that. But all the
they don't want to be they don't want to be the tribes with the plate in the lips. And,
and
all that weird shit. Brother Oak and shit. If you was in Africa, man, you would have a plate in your lip, man.
Got them bone through his jaw or something.
Yeah. You don't want to be part of that though, right? That ain't you, right? They show you that, like here your uncle, he be like, man, stop playing. My uncle was levitating and shit. Like that's what they want to be part of. They don't want to be part of the more primitive or the more like the people that the more stereotypical tribes over there. I mean, like I said, man, you got tribes over here like that.
But if you unapologetically, you would do that. You see what I'm saying?
That's a good way. He is. You're right. You're right about that. We can't forget that he is unapologetically an African. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's no excuse. You're right. He come from that with the bone or with the plates in the lip.
Yeah, man, they sad, man. They don't want to be them little tribes that's eating monkeys and shit. You know what I mean? That's where y'all come from. You know what I mean? So, them cannibal tribes. Y'all don't want to be none of them cannibal tribes out there. Come on, man.
Hey, what explorer was that went to Africa? It was somebody rich, and his son went to Africa, and they said they ate them. They said they ate them and sent this bone back to America. It was a rich white man. His son went out there.
The Rothschild. Rothschild or Rockefeller, one of them. But yeah, his ass got ate up, bro. Thank you. Sent on the tip.
Yeah. It wasn't gonna be no colonization that day. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they seen him coming, they like, look at this one. We got a trick for him. We don't want your money.
We're gonna roast your ass.
We're gonna eat your energy.
It's a fact. And that's what they be doing over there. But they don't want to be them tribes, yo. They rather claim that they come from monkeys. Ain't that sad?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Brother Onken them. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, man. They say West Africa, like Chief just said, there's pyramids in the water off the coast of Cuba. Hey, where you said that where was you saying that pyramid was at? Where you said the structure was the size of Los Angeles?
That was in Guatemala, in the city of El Mador. They call it the cradle of the Mayan civilization.
Mador.
Yeah, El Mador. Matter of fact, they got the legends of the Snake Kings in El Mador too. You know what I'm saying? To go along with the rest of the other pyramids that they found bodies in there, 19 of them to be precise. So we're gonna do that on a later detail too.
They don't want to talk about this.
Oh, hey, can we show some pics of the? Here's the thing, right? Now they identify with the brown people that are on the walls in Kemet, right? Well, why don't y'all identify with the brown people that are on the walls here in America, with the dreads, with the braids, with the locks? I mean, what's going on? Why we don't identify with them?
Because they don't know about it. They've been studying Africa so long. You know what I'm saying? That's all they know, and they don't want to abandon what they've been taught. So they're like, oh well, and what they always say is, well, Africa, they haven't been colonized like that. Why you don't think a lot of them countries in Africa ain't got a lot of mulattoes over there? Because they just got over there. You know what I'm saying? But most of the researchers don't understand that. They've been here 500 years. You know what I'm saying? They only been in Africa since the 1800s. We know they snip-pick went certain places, but they ain't try to go in there until like the late 1800s. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, as far as that information, like I said, we could touch on this and get back to teaching, but in the same process, they definitely got to be exposed, man, because they teaching false information. Anytime you present something to them, they automatically want to take them. And these days, you can't you can go to a website and find something. You can go to a website that's not that important or not a website where it get a lot of traffic at, and you can find information on it that's very credible. I have done that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? Just by looking at this particular web page and looking how it's formatted, I'll be like, all right, well, this guy has some truth to it.
Right. One thing about that is that your claim is more important than your source. You see what I'm saying? Because your claim is what make you look stupid. You see what I'm saying? Not your source. So if you know what I'm saying? So if you go and you claim, okay, our pyramids is older, I don't even need to know where you get that from. I'm finna make you look stupid just because you said that shit.
I mean, yeah, but even so, but when you start looking at even where the sources come from, it's still gonna lead you up the same tree, because apples don't fall too far from the tree.
Right.
If the claim is bogus, then you know the source is bogus too.
Period. Right. Y'all, because a lot of the sources, a lot of their sources lead back to the same people. But yesterday with Black Jesus, that's what we did. We let him stay his claim. You see what I'm saying? We let him stay his claim, and then we showed him something different. And then he admitted, he said, look, according to the scientists, you guys are right. You see what I'm saying? He couldn't debate that then. You see what I'm saying? But if we would have been up here clowning him and shit, like, oh, your name Black Jesus, and clowning him and shit, making him look stupid, then that don't do nothing but really make us look stupid at the end, because we never debunked it. We never got to the information.
Facts.
Yeah, you right.
But listen though. We talk about information though. You can't say that the university or the Smithsonian are on our side and they're going to be putting out right information. So you have to have discernment. You have to understand when these people are saying certain things, they still have a political agendas. They still have funding from the people who have historically been funding our demise. Goddamn. So you have to know any articles that you get that they have some shit going with them. You know what I'm saying? We just have to start producing articles. Now, here's another thing I do not like. You guys do. It's corny. They say, oh, if you haven't written a book, we really can't talk to you, right? Fools, we publish videos all the time. This is work. It's transcripts that come with this, right? It's a lot of work that goes into putting these things together. And guess what? You guys make videos too. So just because somebody wrote a book, and I tell you all the time, go burn y'all damn books, because you obviously haven't learned anything and your views are warped and still think like Melvin Hersevich and those guys wanted you to think. So you're not, no. So burn your books, man. That's the first thing. And I don't think that qualifies you as being a scholar because you wrote a book. I really don't, you know.
Right. Yep. I feel you on that. That's a political campaign tactic. They did that on Barack Obama when they try to say, well, you're not qualified to be the president. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically that's basically the angle. They're trying to use a campaign strategy. You know what I'm saying? They say these guys are not qualified. They ain't wrote no books. And they try to, these guys ain't got degrees and they ain't got this, so they're not qualified. They did the same thing with the Barack Obama, and also they did it with Donald Trump as well. And so,
I mean, listen, anybody can write
you can be on the lookout on a lot of that. They're gonna get a lot of that. But it's never gonna be information against information. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we was able to get Black Jesus, just with the information.
I mean, anybody can pretty much write a cat in the hat Dr. Seuss book, man, that ain't got no real nothing in it, right? But to put out real work, man, that's what we doing. I mean,
you gotta do your own research to do real. I mean, to put out real work. You can't summarize somebody else's work, or you know what I'm saying? That's all they do, though.
Yeah, that's all they do.
If you ain't out there or your knee doing no anthropology or no paleontology work or whatever, you out there in the pyramids yourself and you looking on the walls and man, like I said, them pyramids in Peru and Mexico, it's up to us to be the ones that go down there before them crackers go out there. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Not let them go out there and start messing with stuff and start, you know what I'm saying? That's what need to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what need to happen, man. Brothers need to go down there and start looking at some of this stuff and start understanding what this is and coming back doing the research, man. But I'm gonna tell you,
I'm sorry. Yeah, we getting there, fam. That's what we working on. You know what I'm saying? We working on that. We gonna do that. And that's what it's all about. You see what I'm saying? That's why I got this up here, cause we cannot trust them people with DNA. We cannot trust their machines because they're in their hands. We have to have the ones with the machines. We have to be the ones doing it. And so the lady Chief Warehouse, she's doing it and she's living it. You see what I'm saying? And so we trust her. You know what I'm saying? Over the bald head Jewish guy. But these guys are trying to say, oh man, the bald head Jewish guy, this is the guy you need to be looking. You need to be going to his company and you need to be listening to him. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, we working on that, fam. We definitely working on that. And
that's mind control. When anytime somebody tell you you need to be listening to them, listen. Like I said, we made our claims or whatever. There's something them not to even debunk them, because if you find articles or you find information that's consistent with what I say, you need to back up off of it. Because at that point in time, don't try to convince me on what your interpretation of it. Maybe that's not even your interpretation. Maybe your whole direction is to mislead us or put bad information out there so we can be African. Who knows? Who knows? Them niggas might be agents, man. They might be agents because, like I said, they push the information too far. And look, hey, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Remember the video I sent? We ain't gotta even mention the video I sent you, but remember the video I sent you and how my man said that he had agents that was laying in the bed with him?
Yeah, no, I spoke on that yesterday, I think.
So I'm just saying, like, what do you think? What do you think of some of these agents are, man? Like they just here to keep you to go back to that continent, Africa. Yeah, Africa is a beautiful continent, but at the same time, I'm gonna say 50% of Africa is a desert, man. It's a desert and it's unfertilized soil, unfertilized land, rather. That's why they said, oh, the Congo. They said the Congo could feed everybody. Why would the Congo need to feed everybody if Africa was a modern day Eden like we've been told to believe? Oh man, Africa's so beautiful. And I ain't got no problem with none of the brothers and sisters who are over there. But obviously it's not because they leaving to come here.
Listen, man, ain't nobody trying to go nowhere and starve, man. Can't nobody go nowhere. I mean, who the hell would want to go somewhere and starve? I mean, golly. I mean, we got everything here, yo. I mean, like, it's beautiful. Take pride in what your ancestors built here.
But they said the watermelons came from Africa, though, AP.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, they maybe did. I mean,
no,
I
they
don't
did.
know.
No.
Education system.
DeSanto said the tribes in South Carolina are already melons. As well as they try to say Black Eyed Peas come from there and over. That's a non-site for Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, nah. Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Everything we eat here that we call soul food is nothing that comes from Africa. We already done proved that out of the 640 food crops that's grown over there, 600 of them belong to us, right? So y'all only grow 40 natural food crops. Y'all starving. Y'all don't produce enough. Y'all can't even produce a good home-cooked soul food meal over there in Africa, which I ain't knocking to them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can be, they get, creative. They mix red clay with it. You know what I'm saying? And throwing all kind of other stuff in. But, we got all this sweet potatoes, the corn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we was making popcorn back 1100 BCE.
Popcorn, yeah. My father could make 100 different corn dishes, and I was wondering how the hell you got to make all these corn dishes. They put everything in corn.
That's a fact.
Like cornmeal, corn starch. You know what I'm saying? Like you use corn for everything. That's what grits, the original grits is.
Facts.
Corn. Even before it was dyed, before it was bleached into like hominy grit. But the original grits ain't nothing but cornmeal.
Yep. Corn liquor, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Corn liquor, exactly, yeah.
Corn
bread.
It's not wheat based. They're But here's the thing, Ralph. We are kin to every Aborigine on the planet. The problem is that we have been socially alienated from our own land. Trying to that we Africans and Africans identify like that. Once you identify who you are, then you can go and deal with other people as an American Aborigine. That's just a fact. I don't care what nobody else saying. It's time talking. Now it's time for action. That's what we have right now. It's time for action. It's time to start putting boots on the ground. Shout out to Sister Geneva. It's really time to get to work. We're not gonna argue all day about dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. If all y'all got is DNA and y'all want that's what y'all gonna go with. That's fine. We're gonna focus on the work and changing these laws and changing the social norms and the social genocide that's happening right now. We're under attack, and socially is once we can change it socially, that this is not like everybody in the barbershop's talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be talking about this in the beauty shop. Everybody's gonna be talking about this in the church. Everybody's gonna be talking about this in the mosque. They're gonna be talking about this everywhere. So that's what they're afraid of. They're trying to follow him, but the genie's out the bottle, huh? What'd you say, bro?
I was just saying that's a fact. I was just agreeing with you, brother. You keep it going.
Yeah, brother. The genie is definitely out the bag. Hey, shout out to Jaguar Omeg, man. I don't know if y'all sent him the link. I'll definitely get that brother the link. Yeah, we had some other things we wanted to share. So if you guys have anything, y'all can share that. Any pics, any things that anybody want to join? Let us know. We're gonna open up the panel for everybody. But yeah, we want to just kind of get at these guys, man, and debunk everything that they're talking about. That's what I want to do. I just want to debunk everything. I wanted to get into the video last night that the squad put up. I can actually play it, and we just play the audio, and then kind of critique it a little bit. You know, some of the stuff they were saying. It's crazy, man. Some of the stuff that they were saying. Trying to compare the Out of Africa theory. They like to say Out of Africa 1 and 2. From my research, we talk about it's like 5 different migrations, but they were talking about the Out of Africa migrations. So which one are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, and they act like they're the only ones that researching about and stuff. Man, that's crazy. The reason why we can talk about DNA is because we have actual research on it. We just watched the video that debunked what Kid was saying. We played earlier. Less than 0.1%. Can't get 100% out of less than 0.1%. Wudjah. It's impossible. Now they challenged me about doing a DNA test. So I challenged them to come out here in October for the Great American Powwow, and we can do a face-to-face field or whatever. I'm saying, hopefully they've been on by October. They still not trying to debate this. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna invite those brothers out, man. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Ab. So you guys, I didn't check out the video yet. Jaguar did this morning. But y'all was debunking the evolution thing. So you kind of break that down.
Yeah, man. It kind of went over a few different reasons why. Pretty much because the numbers won't match up. It's impossible to even come up with that type of theory, right? Theoretically. Another thing.
Hey, Ab, let me get you to mute your mic because you got a hardcore echo going on. There you go, fam.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty much debunking the whole thing. You know, with a lot of different variations and calculations. But the main thing that stood out to me is with evolution, that means you come from another species, right? Of an animal, right? That evolved into another animal, right? Like they say dolphins was once dogs or some shit like that, right? Some shit like that, right? Birds was dinosaurs, right? Well, from what the research that have been done by several different people of this field with PhDs has explained that it's impossible to create a new DNA genetic sequence of series of numbers, which to ultimately create a new animal, because every specific number is set up for a specific reason to run a specific cell. So if you're looking at 500 different mechanics that's going on in one cell, right, it's all controlling it. But if that was the case, then it will evolve from another thing to and a two, right? So if you're going from evolution from one to another, then you got to have a previous ancestor. That's not even the case, because if you go into the earliest evidence of life, you're gonna go to the Cambridge period. It is where all these animals just pop up with significant DNA structure, right? Pretty much advanced creatures, right? Out of the blue with no prior ancestry before that period. So it means that they didn't evolve, they just pretty much came out of thin air. And that's the point. It don't even coexist with the whole evolution theory. So I mean, it's totally debunked. You know what I mean? I got the video up. Y'all can go check it out. I did it early today.
Yeah,
man, that's pretty much it.
You just said something about being able to, like, okay, say for instance, if we put together a company, right? We call it American Ancestry.com, right? Y'all can bite it if y'all want to. If we put that type of company, and we started to go around reservations, right? all over America, could we start matching ourselves up with people on reservations, brother, as well as match up ourselves with animals and plants? I mean, here in America, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make no sense. You cannot do that. So they tell you that once upon a time there was no human life, no kind of Homo sapien, nothing like that. But how can a creature create a whole new DNA genetic sequence, which ultimately created a whole new species? It's impossible. It's impossible. So, I mean, think about it. They can't tell you when the first human was made, and they ain't gonna be able to tell you when the last one gonna be done. So until they can prove me that, we've been here for goddamn ever. We was riding dinosaurs. That's the way I feel about it. So debunk. Tell me when the first human was made, and tell me when the last one gonna be made.
But here's we have every doctor, every scientist. Why they produce a doctor, a scientist? So listen. Shout out to Dr. Renoko. Shout out to Anthony T. Dr. Ryder. Shout out to everybody. And nobody's this slow. Everybody is moving past what y'all talking about. And some people are going back to the U.S. right now. Even Umar Johnson is. So we tapped on SETI. He's not moving past. He went down there and seen the brain. He's seen the people. He's seen the people on the wall of brown people. They still Africans. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Nah, and that's the thing, man. They take this shit like Negro, slave, right, or black, and they try to make it synonymous with being African when that term really didn't exist. I mean, even if you want to go before the term, not even play the semantics, it's not really identifying that Pacific people. Yeah, man, so it really wouldn't even describe those people, man. So we got to understand that, you know what I mean? So we know that we got the oldest pyramids, we got the oldest mummy, we got the oldest signs of irrigation, the oldest sign of agriculture, the oldest sign of weaving, the oldest sign of hunting. Come on, man, you can just pretty much say the cradle of life is over here. We gave birth to the world. We gave thought, consciousness, and culture to the world. And all they did was turn into religion. Period.
Facts. Yo, and then when we talk about that though too, man, like they just gonna look past. You're just gonna look past the long calendar. You're just gonna look past that. That don't exist. The Mayan calendar don't exist. That predates the Egyptian calendar. Those things don't exist. I've seen Jabari come out his mouth and say that you actually see rituals on the walls in Mesoamerica that you see on the walls in Kemet. With Jabari, they were on here. They were happening here first. They were taken there. That's what we're saying. Now, shout out to Dr. Clyde Winters, but he's not teaching this. Shout out to Dr. David Imhotep, but he's not teaching this. We are. This is new, groundbreaking, pioneering information. You see how they work? You see how students work together and to come up with master students working together to come up with new things that are actually old. Shout out to Dr. Jack D. Forbes, man. We have so many references to go to. I don't even know where do we start? So we're going to start with Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, right? I want to get into something with Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. They came before Columbus. If you can find anything on that, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely like to put that up because this is kind of, we're talking about this without talking about Dr. Ivan Van Sertima is like, I don't know, having a conversation about basketball and not talking about Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He's the I'm not saying he's one of the first, but he brought it to us, to this community. And a lot of these teachers that's outside today were students of him, including Jabari. So Jabari knows. So he's not going to come try to fight us against this. He's just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? They might be trying to go back and rethink this thing. Niggas is cutting off their locks and shit now. They like, oh shit, like, yo, well, maybe we were here first. Well, guess what? All that shit was here first. It was taken there. Think about it. They're still emulating us now. So you think, oh, we started emulating them and now it changed? No, they've always been emulating us. We've always been the flyest motherfuckers on the planet, period. I don't care what nobody say. And we've always been the best fucking fighters on the planet, period. That didn't just, oh, we just became the best. We just became the fastest motherfuckers on the planet. We just became the strongest motherfuckers on the planet. That just started, right? Really. We've been whooping asses. They just put us to sleep with their books and their word spells that got you running around here scared. The lion scared of the fucking hyena. How's that work? The lions aren't working together. The lions believe that they are hyenas. The lions take hyenas motherfucking doctrines and hyenas motherfucking way of thinking like scavengers and dumb motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And not to work with their own, with the other lions. That's what we're doing. So yeah, man, we need a new way of thinking and fuck all this old dumbass way of thinking, man. That's that man, even shit. Even they try to say Marcus Garvey was a Pan-Africanist. Did he ever call himself a Pan-Africanist? I mean, I don't know. What are we talking about here? Is Pan-Africanism working for us? Because if it is, I want to see the companies that y'all have, the multinational corporation that y'all are working with right now that's creating jobs, creating resources for the people on both sides of this motherfucking ocean. Please show it to me. Because that's what we're talking about doing, but we're doing it from Americans. And we're working with the rest of the world as Americans and being respected as Americans, and our goods and services can be respected worldwide. Why not monetize our shit worldwide? Our t-shirts, everything that we're doing, why not monetize our own shit and put that out for the world? Yeah, but no, we want to be done. We want to wear that shit. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, fam, we got that coming. Now let me break this down real quick. I'm gonna try to bring up the chat because I want to talk to the people real quick. Now understand exactly what's going on here. Now, our theories. And these theories and this information that we're spewing and the information that they spewing, it's the bottom line is all about the way you want to rise to power. Now it seems like the way they want to rise to power is that they want to piggyback off of Africa, and they want to they want to piggyback off of Africa, and they want to use Africa to rise to power. Now this is a good power move, and this is very clever, but they have yet to do it. They have multiple centuries to pull it off, to go over and unite Africa and do all this stuff that they say they're gonna do. They have multiple chances to do it. Now, on us, on the other hand, we're saying, oh no, we don't want Africa, we don't want y'all, we don't want these people. We're gonna huddle amongst ourselves, and we're gonna get ourselves together, and then we're gonna open up, and then we're gonna, go over there and do some uniting over to Africa. We're gonna be reaching out to the people in South America. We're gonna be reaching out, and so this way that we're trying to get to power, it's new. And anything that's new is kind of creepy, it's kind of scary for people who's into their old ways. And these guys they're dinosaurs, and they're clinging on to their old ways that they had plenty chances to prove it and to go over there and unite Africa like they said they was gonna do, and rise to power and all this shit that they talk about. They had centuries to do it, y'all, and they have yet to do it. And so we're rising up. We're saying, no, we finna do this. And we got our different ways that we're rising to power. So a lot of things we say is very political, and a lot of things we say is very scientifical. And so it goes back and forth from a scientific dimension to a political dimension. And so these guys are washed up, and we can't take it no more. Our people cannot take no more guys taking $1 million. We can't take no more of some guy, scamming us, or some guy, what I'm saying? We just can't take it no more. We don't care how professional you sound. We don't care how many degrees you got. Okay, that is, what I'm saying? We're not the same people we used to be when y'all was scamming us and telling us that we're gonna go to Africa and we're gonna reunite them and we're gonna do all this. We don't buy it no more. So you guys are gonna either show us or just drop down. Just drop down and let us do what we got to do, and you guys can patch in some of the things that we don't know about, and let us do what we got to do, fam. So let's go ahead and get the show started, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We out here. I'm out here. I'm supporting y'all. App. You know what I'm saying? A1 Chief. But what you guys think about that? Rising to power off the information that you're talking about.
Of course. I mean, man, listen. Power is information. Power is not money. Knowing more than the next person, knowing where to go find a goal, that knowing what algorithms to follow, knowing what, patterns to follow. Y'all follow where I'm going with this? Like, I mean, man, it was ingenious how you showed, the correlation between algorithms, and, from the computer or whatever, to the same thing that they're using for probabilities, for genealogy, man. It's just crazy, man. You have a better chance of the lottery, winning the lottery, than getting the accurate where you come from your spit, and from tribes. They don't account for migration patterns. They don't account for out of Africa 1 through 5. They don't account for none of the shit that y'all talking about. And it's just interesting to me. And I guess I wanted to ask you, I'll give him Dr. Rick Kittles, because he went to school, so I'll give him that. Dr. Rick Kittles, when you swab white people, where do you find them at in Africa? Because if you don't, then you're telling me then DNA accounts for migration patterns. It counts for, all the things they say. Or the DNA is programmed and is based, gaining the data is based off of eugenics rhetoric. Y'all follow me? Okay, when we do somebody white, okay, well, we know we're gonna find them in Europe. Y'all follow where I'm going with this? How would that be possible when Africa and Europe's the same continent, it's the same place, and it was, you know what I mean? These are the same people. So why would a white person's genealogy or spit stop in Europe, stop in Germany, stop in Spain, stop in France? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they have any African DNA in them? Why wouldn't you be finding them in Africa, man? I just think that's weird to me. Y'all suck. That don't make sense. It's dumb. You know what I mean? It's real dumb. Because you can find them in us, but you can't find African in them. That's dumb. That don't make sense. So what you're saying is white people don't come from Africa. You would have to be saying that. Because if you did, when you swab their cheek, you say, oh yeah, you guys are the Bantu, or you from these different things, these different tribes. Oh, I just like to say also that all these tribes are absolutely created, and they're new things, the Khan, Mandinga, and all this other stuff. Those are not Aboriginal languages or whatever to that land. So let's get that straight. I don't want to hear that no more. In the same way, we shouldn't be talking about calling ourselves Cherokees and Blackfoot and all this other shit. That's why I say I'm a renegade. Because I'm a wild, I identify with the wild renegade tribe niggas that I come from. I don't identify with the sellout ass motherfuckers that took on their shit and laid down on fucking reservations or moved around. Fuck them. So that's what we doing over here, man. We are resurrecting the spirit of the warrior that shouldn't have never died in you know what I'm saying, our community. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at right now. Ooga to the family. The truth's in the building. AA1, man. Go ahead and share what you wanted to share earlier, brother. Yo.
A1.
Yeah. Ab, you can go ahead, brother.
But yeah, man. You pretty much hit the nail on the coffin. I hit the nail on the head, man. And we got and you put the nail in the coffin too, for sure. But yeah, man, they through, man. The whole out of Africa is through, man. I mean, we have no problem with Africa. We have no problem with Africans, right? We're just not those people. We are who we are. I am who I am. So, and our ancestors done plenty of work, done put in plenty of goddamn work for us to take pride in. We ain't got to be going across the pond over there looking for shit to take pride in. But yeah, go ahead, A1, do your thing, bro.
Are y'all ready? All right,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, we for sure. Yeah, we for sure.
I'm about to share the screen. All right, so let's see. Y'all can see this?
Yes, sir.
All right, so.
Hey, by the way, this is for educational purposes and entertainment purposes. So fair use.
Fair use.
Fair use, side Negro. Fair use. All right, so I'm gonna start it right here. I'm gonna put in where I make my claims at, and then I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna really just debunk on Pseudo Garfield. That's what I'm gonna start calling him, Pseudo Garfield the cat. So I'm gonna start it from right here. All right, just let me know if y'all can hear everything.
Peace. It's the man. This the one that you was talking to up to the Armor Rock Squad and blah.
Can y'all hear that? Yo, can y'all hear it? Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, sound good. You might just turn up a little bit if you can.
All right, I got you.
Let me just come in with it, right? Peace, King, peace. All of that stuff that's good to anyone who never been to college or anyone who ain't got no degree. Literally ain't got shit to do with this cause that they found over here in America that they call it. So now look, we want to start off with this. That's to destroy any of your arguments. The pyramids in the world are older than pyramids in Egypt. Number one. Number two, there is no such thing as no you know, 1,000 problems of different people and different territories of where people live. Alright, so number one, pyramids over here are older than the pyramids in Egypt. Alright, let's deal with that. Stop. How do you explain?
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because I did kind of off topic, but let me go ahead and move the part.
Fam, we can barely hear it. You can send me the link if you want to, but we can barely hear it.
I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not a paleontologist. I don't go in the field. I gotta go to an expert in the field who actually, because I haven't been to Peru, and I don't know if you went to Peru on his vacation. I don't know if Sarnetta went to Arasar, but I haven't been. So we have to go to the expert. So now the experts have told how old it is. So now, you go ahead, and the mic is yours.
Well, the site itself goes back, that particular site, according to Ruth Shady, 1,600 years. Think that on this, that alone is pretty excellent. You know, like Europeans always act like it wasn't comparable civilizations in America. And what this proved, it absolutely was civilizations comparable to anything found in the world during this particular time period. So, but the point is, if people start coming in around 1,600 years, you're not in this, so they don't even have archaeological calendar on dating that particular structure. And by the way, it looks like a pyramid. It's not a pyramid, first of all. Right? It's not called a pyramid. Right? No, pyramid. Listen, my man. If you answer that question, if you got to answer it. I told you the site 2,600.
Hold up. Look. All right, so look.
It looks like a pyramid. It's not a real pyramid, first of all. It's not called a pyramid. Right? You know, pyramid size of pyramid. If you got a source, answer it. The site is 2,600.
Okay, all right. So that's one site, right? So boom. Let's go to him. Let's put up who he's looking at. All right, just bear with me. We right here. Oh shit. Let me see. Oh no, it's right here. It's photos. Nah, let me see something. Go out this way. Cause I just see download. Just bear with me, y'all. I'm about to get this out right now.
Someone from Egypt is calling me.
All right, come on.
All right,
down,
come on.
Tabari. We live right now, brother.
Live right now.
Oh.
You know.
Man, someone from Egypt is calling me.
Oh, all right. This ain't, hold up. This is the son. This ain't the man. Hold up.
Power family, you already know what it is.
Do y'all hear
echo?
I'm talking to my people.
I'm talking to
the people that's out there.
To the people that's out there.
Hey, family, I can go ahead and play it if you want me to. It
No,
might sound a little better.
wanna-
It might sound a little better because the sound was kind of off.
Oh, you couldn't hear it?
No, I couldn't hear it that good on the as far as the audience side of it. They couldn't hear it that good.
Oh, okay. Look, if you play it, then you got to come in. The part, me and him talking, if you start, I come around like 11:11. So you could, if you go to 11:11, I'll make my claim, and then you could just fast forward up to about like maybe 14 minutes, and then let Unc talk from there, and then that's pretty much explain everything. Because I just want to hear that he said 2,600 years.
Destroy
their religion for Christianity. Man,
hold on one second. It's a lot of things going.
Digital pit boss is in the building. All right, I hear somebody say.
Oh, you want me to stop saying?
Turn it down. Turn it down. Over here.
They got
testing 1 2. How that sound right there?
Hello.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it was too much going. So yeah. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. What the hell? Hold on 1 second. 1 second, fam.
Okay.
Okay, so they should be able to hear it a little better. So you said it started about 11?
11 not coming.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to. I'm just gonna do about 10. I'm just gonna do about 10.
All right, you good.
What the hell is going on? You ready? Here we go.
When it comes to this stuff. But just because a thing is sourced, a layperson will look at this and be like, oh, he got him. He got sources in here. And it's, some of this stuff is peer reviewed. But again, in science, we could give a rat's ass about, where the source is. Can you demonstrate? Always demonstration beats conversation. And so,
I got another Aborigine brother. He was talking to you yesterday, Unc. And peace to you, my brother.
Peace. It's the conscious one, man.
All right, this the one that you was talking to.
What's up to the Ride Squad and Brother Garfield?
Good.
Now, let me just come in with it, right?
Peace, King. Peace.
All right, now, all of that stuff sounds good to anyone who never been to college or anyone who ain't got no degrees. Zero ain't got shit to do with the scores that they found over here in America that they call a Negro. So now look, we're going to start off with this, just to destroy any of your arguments. The pyramids in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt, number one. Number two, there is no such thing as no Africa. You have 1,000 tribes over there of different people and different territories of where people live in. All right, so number one, the pyramids over here are older than the pyramids in Egypt.
All right, let's deal with that. Stop. Let's do that claim.
How do you explain I got a handful of anthropologists and archaeologists who say that they have found Negroes in America that predates Colombian.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second, my brother. Let's do one issue at a time. Let's deal with
the pyramids over here.
Go ahead, Ank.
So what's the name of the site where the pyramids is? I know this
anthropologist.
Hold on,
my brother.
He's the anthropologist and an archaeologist.
My brother. Hold on, brother. Hold up, brother. Hold on. Let's have a good conversation. Let's have a scholarly conversation. You made one claim.
Hold on.
Fam, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You want me to keep letting it play?
Yeah, go ahead. Let it play. That's what we waiting on you.
You in
No,
Brooklyn?
he's playing it. We just can't hear it, bro.
I'm in the Western Hemisphere.
All right. I thought you was in Brooklyn. All right.
He playing it now?
I thought I was supposed to meet up with you tomorrow. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now. But I want to, because I'm at 13:15.
Oh, okay, all right.
And my phone was acting up, so I'm trying to think if you guys can still hear it or not. But so you can't hear it?
I can't hear it.
Okay, yeah, go on your phone or another device or something. You should be able to hear it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I ain't got my I got the YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let it play.
Yeah, I'm saying I see you at the African Fest. Definitely, I definitely
we gotta get on
these brothers right here. Let's get this.
All right, go ahead, y'all.
All right, so let's go right to the claim that the pyramids in Americas is older. Let's go to the archaeological site. What's the name of the archaeological site?
What archaeology site? Well, hold up. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up.
I can tell you it's Caral.
And I'm gonna show you.
Caral. It's Caral.
Listen, if you go back and you look good, you will see that they got Mesopotamia at number 1.
No, bro, stop.
The pyramids in Peru. This is what they say. They said that the pyramids in Peru are about 500 years older than the pyramids in Egypt. Me, myself, I believe that is a lie. I believe that the pyramids in Peru are at least 100,000 years old. Now,
hold on. Hey, Asaf, can you?
Hold on, brother. You gotta hold on. You gotta let them talk. Go ahead.
All right, so you're talking about the archaeologist Ruth Shady. That's who you're talking about. Let's go to the actual.
I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not talking. You talking about?
Oh, that's what those. Hey, bro, that's what the pyramids are in Peru. That's one of the oldest sites right there.
Which pyramids are you talking about? Which one? You tell me which one you talking about.
Hold on a second. Hank, hold on a second. My brother, we're gonna have a dialogue. This is the Scholar's Corner. You made a claim that Peru has a pyramid that's older than the Egyptian pyramids. Can you allow us to prove you wrong right now without you interrupting? Can you allow us? So let us respond. Let us respond, beloved. Then you come back in. Because I want when people watch this, they watch what Ank is doing. So the first thing Ank asked was what? What's the name of the site? The name of the site is Caral. That's where the oldest Peru pyramids are. So we're going to go to when UNESCO named the site, which was 2009. So we know about the site, my brother. So what Ank is going to do is give you what the scholars say. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not a paleontologist. I don't go in the field. So we got to go to an expert in the field who actually been there. Because I haven't been to Peru. I don't know if Unc went to Peru on his vacation. I don't know if Sarnetta went or Asar, but I haven't been there. So we have to go to the experts. So now the experts are going to tell us how old it is.
Yeah.
All right? So now, Unc, you go ahead, Unc. And the mic is yours, Unc.
Well, the site itself goes back, that particular site, according to Ruth Shady, about 2,600 years. I think that that alone is pretty excellent because, you know, like Europeans always act like there wasn't comparable civilizations in America. And what this proves is that it absolutely was civilizations comparable to anything found in the world during this particular time period. So, but the point is, if people start coming in around 2,600 years, you're not going to dive right in and start building pyramids, bro. So they don't even have
Right. Ain't that your point right there you was talking about when he said 2,026 years?
A real pyramid.
Right,
First
family?
of all, all right, it's not called a...
Hello? Atancha. A1.
Yeah.
Well, that's your point.
Yeah. But
he didn't say BC.
Right.
He didn't say BC. So he read that. He seen that. So that's I think he seen that. He read that. You see what I'm saying? But he didn't say BC. So it was supposed to be 2600 BC. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is going on here?
It's older than that, though.
What the hell is this? Hold on 1 second.
What?
My
Racing
screen
isn't the
just,
only thing on my...
yeah, my screen just kind of went back. What the hell happened here? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and find it back. But my screen just kind of went back a little bit. But yeah, that's what you're saying.
See what I'm saying? It's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. I got that. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep letting it play. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I could put a room full of scientists, and I guarantee we're going to be two of them experts telling the other experts on the.
Okay, check this out.
Okay, what other one you wanted? What's the other Yeah, cause this I don't know what the hell happened. This one way before.
Nah, but that's good enough right there. Just to let the people know.
But
He
let's see
said
when he was
20.
reading it. Let's see when he was reading it. So
He was
people.
reading from Ruth. I got 3 articles pulled up with her. She's an anthropologist.
No, but didn't they show it? Didn't they show it? Didn't they show it? They showed it, right?
He did show it.
Yeah. So let's watch him showing it and let's watch him reading it.
But I think you gotta skim through because he don't show it right away. He shows it like towards after I make some other claims.
Right, I think it's right here. So y'all see he already took dude from 2600. He forgot the BC. So that was a I don't know what you want to call that. That was a scam. But that was misinformation of the people. That was giving people misinformation. That's why you gotta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what is the deal. Maybe this could be, WWF, hardcore SmackDown, or this can be try and mislead the people as much as possible. I'm still confused, you know what I'm saying, on that. But this WWE stuff, it is fun a little bit. I give
Read
it that.
this, family. This is why we say you have to have a methodology.
No, this is
And she did the
UFC right here.
survey.
This is MMA. This is what this is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we just putting a whooping on these guys, man. I scholastically, they're not even in the right league. And you would think that they would start doing some research on this to be able to even be in the arena with having these type of conversations, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing it, and they refuse to do it. It's like they refuse to do the research. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I can't find that exact part, family. Do you do you got the article? You want to send it to me?
Man, I'm sharing my screen. Can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Share your screen. Go ahead. Let me take mine out. You go ahead and share your screen.
I did it already.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead and put on your screen. We can do it that way.
Can you see anything on my screen?
I can see Scholars. I can see Scholars Corner.
All right, look. You can see this right here. You see the Oxford reference?
Yeah, I see that. Right there. Yeah.
All right, look. This from the Oxford reference. It's a timeline. It's a Andine, the Andine civilization. The Andine civilization was civilization in Peru. This says the year 3000 BCE, 1537. All right, now this is one. I'm gonna just go through them, okay? So just bear with me. All right, this is the New York Times. This is a fucking source. Don't nobody tell you that it's not a source. They'll sit here and tell you that it's not a source. The only thing you have to do is find out who's saying. You understand what I'm saying? So look, let's read this. It's a Jane culture found to be as old as the Great Pyramids. All right, now it's by William K. Stevens of the New York Times. Archaeologists working in Peru have unearthed stunning evidence that monumental architectural complex society and pen development first appeared and flowered in the world between 5,000 and 35,000 years ago, roughly the same period when Great Pyramids were built in Egypt and Samaria city states. And Samaria in Mesopotamia. All right. So this is another one from New York Times. So this was the original one I was reading. This was before it was news. Right? So I'm not even gonna go. This is what they were saying in before it was news. They were saying Peruvian pyramid older than Egypt civilization rivals Sumerian. All right, so this is it. It says Lost Pyramids of Peru. This is what Garfield was saying. Peru. It said are older than suspected. Construction began 3000 BC. Now, Onk said 2000 BC, but I'm gonna keep it moving. All right, so you check the article out. This is something that they call pseudo, but it's called beforewasnews.com. All you gotta do is match this up with other. All you have to do is match this up with other articles and see if the dates match up. Okay, now it says 300, 400 years before the people of Kemet, Egypt began the pyramids of Doggia. They saying that these are 300 to 400 years older than them. Okay, they might be thousands of years older than them, but that's not. I'm not trying to make that claim. I'm just trying to put pretty much out there. Now look, Smithsonian Institute. All right, the Smithsonian.com. All right, say first city in the New World. All right, it's a Peru suggests civilization emerged in the Americas 1,000 years earlier than expected believed. It's a 6 earth unrocked mounds. It's a rise out of the windswept desert valley near the coast of Peru. All right, it says they appear to be nature's handiwork. I say outpost in the region squeezed between the Pacific Ocean and the fold of the Andine Cordillera. It say, but looks deceived. It say these are human-made pyramids, and compelling new evidence indicate that they are the remaining of the city that flourished nearly 5,000 years ago. Say it's true, it will be the oldest urban center in America. Now they try to say the oldest urban center in America, right? But I'm gonna show you something in a minute. I'm gonna show you how old the pyramids are in Egypt. All right. Now look.
I feel. Go ahead. Oh yeah. I was
so this is
say,
another.
Fam, do you got the one he was reading from? Because that's
nah.
The source.
The
so
one he reading from is this one.
Huh?
Look.
They try to say, okay, yeah, he was reading from a Ricky Dink site. They got aliens on the site, but then they read from that site right there. So
look, you can see. Can you see the site right here? Right here?
Yeah, we got you.
So this is one of them. He was reading from this one. He was reading from a site similar to this one here.
Let's see the time on there. Let's see the time on there. Let us get the date.
Well, this 2001. It say roof. See, it say dating coral. It's a pre-Sumeric site, Supi Valley in the central coast of Peru. It say roof shady soilless right here. Here go her name right here. Okay. Now it don't say a date on this because you got to pay to get on here.
The one he was reading had a date on it.
I know, but let's tell you, one of them got a subscription to get today.
I can get you on that, man. Give me a couple minutes. I can get you on that shit.
Nah. We ain't gotta do all that. All we gotta find is other articles with Roof Shady. I got other articles up here where I tell you. Look, I got one right here. Okay. All we gotta do is just find other articles that got Roof Shady. That's referencing Roof Shady. We ain't gotta pull up his article. I just read 5 articles that just said that the pyramids, that someone said 5,000, most of them said 5,000 years. He said 2,600 years. Now you think the New Time gonna put that in there at the Smithsonian Institute? You think the Smithsonian? So who you gonna take the word of? You want to take the word of Onk, or you want to take the word of Smithsonian Institute? Because this is the Smithsonian Institute article right here. It says 5,000 years ago. Okay, now he said 2,600 years ago. Now, when you go down, it says research developed by Peruvian archaeologist Roof Shady. It says soil of San Marco University suggests that coral is a 1,500-acre complex pyramid. He said it wasn't a pyramid. It says plaza and residential buildings is unknown. It says with a thriving metropolis as Egypt, Great Pyramids. It said we're being built. Now she's saying we're being built, but this 5,000 years. If you listen, look, I'm just gonna pull up something simple right here. I ain't even gonna go into a real website right now. Look, check this out. We're gonna find out. Matter of fact, let's go on to PBS. PBS got some sources on here. Let's see what they saying. Now, PBS saying the pyramids built 3,200 years ago. All right. Now, hold up. Let me see something. Let me go out of here. We can keep that source. I don't mind using that, saying it was 3,200 years. But then I'm just going to say that the pyramids in what's the name are older. Because they gotta be old. They was foreign civilizations, man. And it's like I said, that they was using the mummy. Let's hold up, load up. With the evidence that they was using the cocaine to preserve the bodies for the mummification process. So this is the National Geographic, all right, .com, all right. Now look, it says all three of the Giza frame pyramids and their elaborate burial complexes was built during a phonetic period of construction from roughly 2550 to 2490 BC. Okay, 2450 plus 2018 will be 2568. Okay, and if we add 2490 on to 2018, that will give us, I believe, 2508 or 25 something around that time. Okay, so these are still, and this is the National Geographic. Okay, this is National Geographic. This is a source. I don't have to go to no school database or no scholarly website or whatever. They got sources in here, so I don't have to do all that. Okay. Now, what date did they tell you right here in the Smithsonian Institute? They said the pyramids in Peru was built 5,000 years ago.
Yeah,
so wouldn't this be old?
Fam, can you look up National Geographic? That's the same one that told you that date. Can you look up the same date for the other pyramid?
What you mean? What you mean?
The pyramids in Peru. The same source. The same source that gave you those dates. Can you look that up about the pyramids in Peru?
What you mean the same source? You mean the source that Onk use?
No. You use Natural Geographic to get the dates on the pyramids of Giza.
But it don't work that way. It don't work that way. See, it don't work that way, dude. It don't work that way.
But can you use the same?
I don't have to do that. I'm not even gonna go that way. Look.
Okay.
The Smith. Look. What? Look. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right. Let's
go ahead, man. Do you? I'm sorry. Just go ahead.
No. I want you to work with me so you'll understand. Let's just take it slow. All right. Okay. What was the archaeologist that Brother Onk used?
A lady named Sadie.
Ruth Sadie. She said Ruth Sadie.
Yeah.
It's R-U-T-H Sadie. S-H-A-D-A. I mean A-D-Y, right? Now look, this right here is the Smithsonian Institute. Okay? It says these are human-made pyramids, and compelling new evidence indicate they are the remains of a city that flourished nearly 5,000 years ago. Brother Onk said 2,600 years ago. Now, researcher developed by Peruvian archaeologist Ruth Sadie.
Hell no.
That's it.
Hell no. Let me go grab some fireworks. Give me 1 second, man. I'm finna grab a grenade or some shit.
Bro, that's one. I got plenty more. Look, I got another one right here. Look. I got another one right here with her name in it. So it ain't like come on, man. You supposed to be a researcher and you gonna put a out there and you not correct. So I mean, it's a bunch of it ain't like it's hard to find if you do research, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All you gotta do is look up what's his source that he said. Now you think the Smithsonian gonna slander her name like that? She can sue them. She can sue the Smithsonian Institute for them putting for them saying 5,000 years, and she said 2,600 years. So man, I ain't gonna go no further, man. I just proved to you.
Yeah.
And them ain't even no rough sources, bro. Like I said, to do this research, you ain't got all you have to have is reference in the article. You do not have to go to one of these. Don't let these stupid niggas put a battery in your back and have you going to these sites paying for them. All you have to do is go to credible sites. The Smithsonian Institute, okay, we know they fuck around, we know they play games or whatever, but people can use that as a credible source. So same thing with National Geographics and so on, so on. Okay, they're not gonna slander her name. And then the Dean Culture told you in the New York Times. The New York Times is a source too. Don't let them tell you, oh man, because listen, if
Oh shit, hold on, my bad, family, my bad, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I got the kids in here with me. Bear with me, family. I think we got taken out. I have some. Give me 1 second. And we should be back in here in about. Yeah, we should be back in here pretty soon. Let me get my dashboard back going. Shit. Okay, family, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on, that's my bad, doing too much. Hold on. Okay, y'all, we got family back in the building. We got Chief Atanchan on his way back in the building. That was all dumbass type data fault, doing too much. We got Chief Holiday coming back in the building. And then we got we finna hit you with this little bit of this. I guess they call it Scott's Corner.
Netta, hold on. I'm in the middle of a statement, bro. Don't cut me. Don't cut my wisdom, Saul. I'm saying is, this is what I showed the people, Saul Netta. I went to the Nature Journal, the Journal of Nature, right? And I mentioned this person right here. This is the actual person, right? She's one of those sisters, not a sister, but she's one of those indigenous people from that area, and did the actual archaeological survey. I'm showing her justice by presenting her real work right here in the Journal of Nature. Ruth Shady, she did the actual, she's the lead person on this particular article because they mentioned her first. So she's the lead, and she's actually from that area, right? So I showed her work justice. You went to this site right here, Fake News 102, whatever it's called, right? And you use this site right here before it's news. Now, the truth is, this is the real homework right here. We talked about methodology earlier. So they give you the actual methodology of how they reach their conclusions right here. It tells you right here the method of how they came to these conclusions in these different figures. And so at the end of the day, brother, you know what I'm saying? This is Scholar Corner. You got to get that out of here, bro.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, my brother. Hold on, my brother, hold on. Let me ask you a question, brother. Have you been to college? Did you go to college?
I've been to state prison and I've been to college.
Okay, now see what you just did. Now check it out. Hold on. Now hold on. Now even with your college degree, you got it wrong. So what does that mean? No, you did get it wrong, brother. Because you brought us to a fake website.
Center for Archaeology and Research
Hey, brother, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, my brother. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, brother.
Not quite.
All right, bring information. All right, yo, we gotta move on. Thank you for coming in, brother. Okay, family, let me let y'all know. Hold on, let me let y'all know, man. This is some real shit. We take this serious, and I know a lot of people think that I'm being biased. I'm not, because if the brother was coming with facts and powerful information, you see, I let him have the floor. I let him speak. Don't know, brother. Listen, when you come here, this is the Scholars Corner. I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? Next week, I'm going to bring up the sisters. I'm going to have Naya. I'm going to have my aunt. I'm going to have some sisters up in the building.
They're going to do the same thing.
And so when you call, man, make sure your shit is right.
So you see the lesson we learned, right? So now that we showed, we looked at source and
hold on. Go ahead,
I say, so what, I just want everybody to know the lesson we learned right here. What I showed was the actual person's paper that was actually digging in the ground. Right. Remember I said start with Wikipedia and end with the journals? Right? And that's just to get you started, right? But what I showed was the actual work of the person that actually did the archaeological dig. So it wasn't my opinion, and it wasn't the caller's opinion, and it wasn't a SAR's opinion, right? It wasn't our opinion. We actually showed the methodology of how she reached her conclusions, right? We showed that, and then we showed the source that he used. And we figured out early in the game that the source he used wasn't even a source. It was some crazy UFO website. And this is where all our family gets tricked at, right? So you got to spend that money to get into those journals. I just want to make that clear. That's important.
The Black Power family, what's your name? Where you calling from? Peace and Black Power, what's up?
Hello, love and family. It's Genevieve. How are you?
Can you take us off the speaker so we can hear you clear?
All right, I'm trying to see if you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, what's the question? What's happening?
Hold on. No, I had to jump into.
Not the point,
brother. That's not the point, though, brother.
Yo,
that's not. That's not.
No, fuck that. Do you have
Hold on. I have a college degree, and I'm working on my master's as we speak.
Okay, I know. Star got one, but the dog got one.
All right. Are we on live right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we got to tell them that it's a new link or something, man. Yeah.
Go tell them to check his email. It's up in there already.
In the email?
Yeah. So because I got a question for Atacha this morning. I want to see what he really believed. I want to know if he really believe these people are literally trying to miseducate the people, or they just trying to, make him or make the Aboriginal movement look like fools, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was clearly, I seen the article also. It said 2600, but he didn't say BC though. So that's a big difference. 2,600 years ago and 2,600 BC, that's a really, really huge difference. And so, I mean, you got only he know if he did that on purpose or if that was just, that was a mistake. I'm interested to see what a Tonchins one want to say about that. I seen the article also. But the thing is that you guys going on Scholars Corner, making these claims, you should have been debunked with information, but it looked like you got clowned and taunted, and it looked like you kind of got lied to. You feel me? But go ahead, fam, man. Y'all making me talk and shit, man.
Yeah, no, they're not in here yet, but I just texted them and told them to look in their email. It's a new link and shit. But yeah, man. I mean, yo, last night was, like I said, they trying, man. It's like they holding on for dear life and what they are talking about. Shout out to anybody that watched the what the bill that they did last night. But we heard Dr. Rick Kittle say that the accuracy of these tests are less than 0.01%.
So,
See how that work?
so is they claiming that these tests is supposed to prove that we're wrong, or they just found something they can get us wrong on?
I mean, no, that's just them
trying to find something they can get wrong on.
They're just holding on to their fake ass African paradigm, man.
Like
That
something gotta go
right
wrong. But because this is the thing, you guys are making some very huge claims, and you making a lot of them. And so, if I feel like some real scholars you wouldn't even been able to make it off that one show without, without, being straight up debunked. But you guys got taunted. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, is you in a tunning game, or are you in a scholarship game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the game plan? Like, is it really about work, or is it about seeing who can clown? Because I understand the WWE stuff. That's just fun. I get it. And we mess around with it. But sometimes we really serious. There's people out here that really, really need this stuff and really depend on this stuff. And so I know you guys are serious to the core. But
yeah, we can have some fun with it,
like,
though.
I know y'all have fun, but sometimes it seems like it's just kind of a game to some people. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's kind of a game, like the information is, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a taunting thing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put it back, and I'm gonna just show you what I'm talking about. I'll show the people what I'm talking about because these claims that they make, especially the one when he say slavery was fake, these are some really big claims. You see what I'm saying? And so in the world of scholarship, you should be debunked in like 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be able to debunk that pretty easy. Now, there's a difference between debunking and having some evidence to support your claim. Now, they might show some evidence to support their claim, or they might just show something to support their claim. But showing something to support your claim is not debunking. You see what I'm saying? Especially some big claims. But I guess they think they kind of got you on the DNA thing, but they don't understand DNA is nothing but code. So I guess they too smart to realize that they ain't doing that but talking computer talk. I don't know if they realize that, or they really think they talking some highly scholarly ass bullshit when they ain't nothing but some damn pluses and some ones and some shit, But it also had something to do with chemicals as well. So
further work at the site and the 1970s year dates.
I mean, man, listen, man. Once again, like I said, you could match up anybody or start finding patterns that will be matching up with anybody around the world. But they don't never consider the fact that maybe these people came from us, as opposed to us coming from them. And that's why anybody would have, you see what I mean with this?
Right.
Yeah. I'm going with out of America theory. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to teach that. And I'm going to try to figure out all the things that could tie, make that true. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. Right. But they don't have anything to other than DNA that is fake. It is used it should be only used for entertainment purposes only. See how that work?
Right. Now let's watch him read this. Let's watch him read this and listen what he say, because it's very deceiving when you know what I'm saying, when you don't read the full thing and you make it fit your agenda. So that's kind of hardcore, and that must have bothered the Tantra just one a little bit, because he pointed this shit out a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So let's check it out.
And the 1970s yielded dates of 3,000 to 2,400
calibrated years
BCE. And so the calibrated year.
So he said BCE. There was no E on there. You notice that? Look at that, y'all. There's no E. So and see, he didn't even want to say BCE.
It's always about method.
But that was cold-blooded, family. That was cold-blooded, man.
Site
what he just
Okay,
did.
look, if you look at my screen,
I mean, that's what they do, man. They cherry pick a lot of
can y'all read
information,
that? What
man.
that say?
And
What that
here's
say?
what the thing is: when they do read articles and stuff, they don't know what they're reading. They're not comprehending, right? They talk about we don't know
in the
methodology. You guys got your head so far up in science that you don't know words. You don't know spells.
One of the sad part about it is that they know that they can pull it off. They know where they can pull it off at. You see what I'm saying? They know where they can pull it off at. And so they know they people, and they know these people, you know what I'm saying, they don't know where they at. They know this shit. And so let's listen to it one more time. He didn't even want to say BC. The other dude had to step in and say it for him, but then he gonna say BCE. Now, these are professional scholarly people. Why he put that E at the end, I'm not sure. But let's just keep it going. So check it out.
7 yielded dates of 3,000 to 2,400.
See, he didn't want to say years BC. He said, now this dude for real. Now, see, that right there make me think like he fucking around a little bit. I get a little feeling he fucking around, but the other dude gonna step in.
Calibrated years BC.
Calibrated years BCE.
See, he gonna put the E at the end, right there in front of the people's face. You see what I'm saying? So that was cold blooded, fam. That was cold blooded. But I'm just go ahead, man. I don't get it.
And so the calibrated year, let me give you what the calibrated year is. It's right here. All right. 2000.
Yeah, man. I ain't really got too much to say no more, man. I mean, at this point,
it's 7 years right here.
Shout out to the family, man. Like I said, man, y'all really down the bill, man.
He did it again, fam. He did it again.
I didn't ask what peer review. I didn't even have.
He's telling the people
He
that
just
the
did.
pyramids are 2,000 years old.
You've been quoting.
And 2,000 years BC is a big difference between 2,000 years. So we talking like year one.
Let you go in.
That was
Right.
blooded, fam. That was cold blooded shit, man. Like I'm
Right.
not, like I'm in it for the fun and to learn some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get good on a stuff. I'm not in it to be like deceiving the people for a joke and shit. I don't take this shit as a joke. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for these brothers, and I'm not trying to, but I just want to let you know where I stand. I don't take this shit for a joke. I don't want to play around with nobody's, you know what I'm saying, nobody's lineage or nothing like that, just for my own gang or whatever. So
there was no black people in the world.
But here's the thing, right? This is what they try to say, right? They're trying to say that.
Get out.
Yeah, we know that there was ancient Americans here, call them archaic people or Pliocene or y'all see where I'm going with this? So that's what they'll say, right? They'll say paleo Americans or paleo people that were here, right? There's just time periods. So when you say archaic is not as ancient as paleo, right? So when we start talking about paleo and Pliocene people and all these other people, you're going back millions of years. So what they're trying to say is, oh, those people met ancient, or no, not those ancient people, those archaic people made it and ran into modern people, right? Well, they're just being disingenuous once again, because how can these are two different time periods. How are they making babies with each other? See what I'm saying? They just always fuck shit, man. It's always dumb.
They making babies.
Yeah, they're saying like an archaic human was like a Neanderthal. It was a Neanderthal, and then then when the Africans came over here, they made it with them and made us and all this dumb shit, man. It's just too dumb, man. It's always dumb shit all the time. It's always dumb shit. They know we've been here. They know we've been fly, and the rest of the world got their flyness from us. Period. It's no coincidence that we are the inventors of civilization, of the things that people are further their civilization into the future. Electricity being one. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are we talking about? So we have the oldest architecture in the world, Craig. That means that people were doing math and science here first. And now unless they find something else, someone that's older, whatever. Right now, you know, we have grander and more things and older things here in the Americas, period. And we take credit for all things from the bottom to the top of the Americas, period. Because we didn't have borders, we didn't have those things. And we can scientifically match up from the indigo paint that was down in Mexico that is they found, scientifically found in Georgia, to the bones that they match up specifically for the people in Georgia to the people to Mexico. These are the same people, period. You don't have no Mongoloids bones that go back 13, 14,000, 15,000, 20,000 years. You don't have them. You don't have no Mongoloid bones that go back 10,000 years because they didn't exist. They just got created in the last couple hundred years. I'm tired of y'all, man. Y'all suck. Your information sucks. I don't know what else to say, man. You guys are terrible.
Yeah, fam, I'm finna pull this up real quick. Yeah, that was very deceitful. I can't let that slide. I can't let that slide. Now that's against the rules. Now I understand the WWE people talking about scholarships every now and then. Somebody talk about your mama or something like that. I get that, but lying to the people, man, that's against the rules, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that shit bogus as hell. I'm sorry, man. I'm just goofy as hell. I just can't get past the way he did that shit. That shit is funny. I'm sorry.
I mean, they continue to do it all the time, man. Wudjha do it with the DNA stuff. They try to act like, you know what I'm saying?
He literally said 200 years, man. He said 200 years ago. That's like year one, man. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like what our grandparents back? Like did we have some? You know what I'm saying? Some great grandparents or something.
Hey, well, break it down to the people, man, because maybe they're not understanding what you're saying. Break it down to the people.
No. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them, cause I don't want to put my goofy ass spin on it. I'm gonna show them. So, and they can go do it for themselves. I'm pretty sure this probably going to be taken down in a couple minutes. But now this is what I'm finna show the people now. A consciousness one called in and he made a claim. He made a claim that the pyramids in Peru was older than Giza. And they made a claim that said it wasn't. So what they did is they read this article from a lady that was agreeing with a consciousness one. But what they forgot to do is they forgot to mention the BC. Now this is very important. So what they made the claim that a consciousness don't know what he talking about because the lady who did the archaeology dig, she only dated the pyramids of Peru 2,000 something years old. But what she really said is 2,000 BC, almost 3,000 BC. So anywhere from 226 to 367 262 BC. But when the guy was reading, when the brother was reading, he didn't mention the BC part. Now I'm gonna go ahead and keep it going because this part he didn't want to say it because he stopped, and then the other dude came in and said BC and he said BCE. So this is deceiving. This is deceiving at work. So watch it to understand what I'm saying.
Her real work right here in the Journal of Nature. Ruth Shady, she did the she's the lead person on this particular article because they mentioned her first. So she's the lead and she's actually from that area, right? So I showed her work justice. You went to this site right here, Fake News 102, whatever it's called, right? And you used this site right here before it's news. Now, the truth is, this is the real homework right here. We talked about methodology earlier. So they give you the actual methodology of how they reach their conclusions right here. It tells you right here the method of how they came to these conclusions in these different figures. And so at the end of the day, brother, you know what I'm saying? This is Scholar Corner. You got to get that out of here, bro.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, my brother. Hold on, my brother. Hold on. Let me ask you a question, brother. Have you been to college? Did you go to college?
I've been to state prison and I've been to college.
Okay, now, see what you just did? Now, check it out. Hold on. Now, even with your college degree, you got it wrong. So what does that mean?
You see right there, they say he got it wrong, and he's talking to his people. This, you know what I'm saying? He said he got it wrong. I'm not sure if he even fully understand what he got wrong, but he just said, man, you got it wrong. We don't even know what the fuck we talking about, but it's wrong, whatever you said.
No, you did get it wrong, brother. Because you brought us to a fake website.
Center for Archaeology and Research are some of the people who made that. These niggas, ain't none of these niggas archaeologists or paleontologists. So you're not qualified, bro.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, my brother. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, brother.
Not qualified.
Right, bring your.
But see, you know what I'm saying. But brothers not introducing into the WWE. They think they going off information. So I think the conversation got a little heated. You know what I'm saying. So
information. All right, yo, we gotta move on. Thank you for coming in, brother. Okay, family. Let me let y'all know. Hold on, let me let y'all know, man. This is some real shit. We take this serious, and I know a lot of people think that I'm being biased. I'm not, because if the brother was coming with facts and powerful information, you see, I let him have the floor. I let him speak. So no, brother. Listen, when you come here, this is the Scholars Corner. I don't know. You know what I'm gonna do? Next week, I'm gonna bring up the sisters. I'm gonna have Naya. I'm gonna have my aunt. I'm gonna have.
Well, what they did is they asked him a bunch of questions. So he didn't really, you know what I'm saying, from what I've seen this part, he didn't get to speak too much, but maybe he did. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he's asking a lot of questions. Now, what the other brother with the glasses finna do is he's finna read an article that supports Atanchini's claim. But what he's gonna do is he's gonna hide some information to the people to make it fit his claim. You see? Now, I don't know if this is a joke to people, or I'm still confused. I'm still new here. I don't know if this is a joke. I understand the WWE stuff and it's all fun, but now to me it's starting to get a little creepy now, because when people hiding information from people, we're talking something on another level. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and let them.
Some crazy UFO website, and this is where all our family gets tricked at, right? So you gotta spend that money to get into those journals. I just want to make it clear. That's important.
Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hold on. Let's go ahead and get to the journals, because obviously he read it and he know the truth by now. But actually I don't think he know yet. So. Go ahead, Chief. You can go in. I'm gonna go ahead and find it. Chief, you there, fam?
Yeah, I'm back, man. I don't know if they got the.
Man, they took this shit down.
Shit. Yeah, that's the gelato right there. Just at the store, man. Shit.
Okay, here we go right here. I got it, family. Here we go right here. Now, watch this. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
This is what all the Aboriginals are going to have to do. All the Aboriginals are going to have to take a DNA.
Send the link to Naya, son.
Let her know.
Okay. All the Aboriginals are going to have to take a DNA test and make their test results public.
You're a fool.
Hold on, brother. Why are you afraid of that DNA test, brother?
Ain't nobody taking no DNA test.
Because that's science. I bet you if somebody claimed that they fathered their child.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm gonna let you go in. You gonna go in? Go ahead, Osama.
All right, go ahead.
So I guarantee that if somebody came up to him,
627 calibrated years BCE. All right.
See, now first off, you notice he said BCE. Now that's different. Now that's a different date. When they said BCE, that's a different date than BC. So that was pretty bogus. Let me see.
Literate and go and check.
I mean, yeah, that's 2,000 years.
Go out of the ether for and meditate.
2,000 to 3,000 years that has been knocked off. But I don't think that they did that on purpose, brother. I think that was just on.
I'm trying not to believe that too, man. I'm trying not to believe that too, because it makes the shit. You know what I'm saying? It makes the shit.
Sometimes we do that too, you know. Yeah, that's not. They didn't do that on purpose.
He did it twice though, fam. That's the only thing. You know what I'm saying? I try not to believe it, but he did it twice, and so that's why it's kind of hard for me to be like, okay, this shit is not getting fun no more. But these people are actually hiding information from our people,
Right.
and that get pretty scary after a second. So he's gonna go in and he's gonna read it. Here we go, right here.
Can you see it?
Yes, I see it. Let Naya know. Let Naya know she's in there, brother.
All right. Okay, look, if you look at my screen, can y'all read that? What that say? What that say? You see that?
Dating Carol, yeah, dating Carol and pre-ceramic site in the
Soup Valley on the central coast of Peru.
All right, so this is the Journal of Science. This costs you about $200 to get up in here. So this is what the brother trying to talk about, right? So we come to the peer review information on it, and we'll give you a date of that site. They're just talking about right here, simply this. It says, if I go down, they collaborate. It says, further work at the site in the 1970s yielded dates of 3,000 to 2,400
calibrated years
BCE.
Okay, now BCE is a different years. Now, but this is where it get bogus at, because now he's finna do it again, but he's finna not say the BC at all. So he's gonna make the people think it's only 2,000 years old, and so that right there, that knocks the fun out of all this stuff, y'all. I'm gonna be straight up.
And so the calibrated year, let me give you what the calibrated year is. It's right here. All right, 2,000.
Oh, you saying that you think he was doing that on purpose? Another double speech, double talk, brother?
Man, I'm gonna let him say it first. Let me, cause I took me damn near 15 minutes to find this part. Let me just let him say it. Let me let him say it before we start talking. Hold on, family.
It's 7 years right here.
27 calibrated years BC. All right.
2,627 calibrated years BCE.
See, there we go, BCE. Now the other brother came in and said BC, BC, and but he basically said 2026 calibrated years, and then the other brother came in, you know what I'm saying? So he was finna hide that. Now, so that right there states a consciousness claim. That's what a consciousness was saying. But this is what's finna happen.
All right. So in this paper, this whole paper, nowhere does it talk about the pyramids. And let me show y'all what the pseudos actually do. And this is why we call you pseudo, because you mix truth and falsehood strangely mixed, right? So they'll take the calibrated site and they'll apply that to the pyramid structure itself and say, see, this is older than the quote unquote pyramids in Egypt. So he's going to some crazy site, right? He's not going to the Journal of Nature. The Journal of Nature does not support that. The actual, I gave you the person name that actually did the.
Yeah, man, I can't, yeah. This is getting weird from me. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, man. Do what you do, man. I gotta go ahead, fam.
Hey, well, no, man, we can close this thing out, man. You want to?
Yeah, go ahead, fam. Yeah, go ahead, fam. That shit just knocked the fun out. Yeah, I'm about ready to go too, man. That was kind of bogus.
No, it's all good. I think we improved our little point tonight, man. I wanted to get into the whole out of Africa versus the multi-regional theory, but we pushing out of America theory anyway, man. So, both, that's what we talk about, man. Everything came from America, so y'all can deal with it or not. We'll go to the family. Thank y'all for coming out tonight, man. We appreciate it. Shout out to Conscious One. Shout out to Aboriginal Power for coming through, man, lending their energy and wisdom to this thing and research. So we definitely appreciate it. We'll be back at y'all, man, tomorrow, man. The Sunday Bill. We might even do something tomorrow, but we're gonna definitely get at the whole multi-regional thing and all that. We'll get back at this whole thing, man. So shout out to the family, man. Shout out to all the great teachers out there that's putting in this work. Peace to y'all, man. Y'all definitely know who y'all are. Shout out to all the great ones listening in. Thank y'all for coming out. Peace and love.
Rolling on the beat, boy, for real. I'm really 10 times 100, man. I don't know why niggas hate on me, man. I'm 1K, do you hear me? I ain't gonna never go about this way ever again. 1K, nigga, Hardaway, nigga. Hardaway 1K, y'all know how I'm rocking. Y'all know who the fuck it is, nigga. It's Hardaway, it's Hardaway. When these niggas change for fame, 10 times 100. For real. Oh, they throw out on my name, 10 times 100. in my pie. I would kept it 100 times a dime, but nigga won't be for cool, boy, fine. Haircut, better get it in line. Niggas hate to see another nigga shine. I swear the little buzz can bitch, I'm too fly. Bitch, I'm too honey. You don't know how I feel, nigga. You don't know how my past is. Wake him up, he slip out Fayetteville. I'm up now, he mad that I passed him. I do it big like the past kill. Smack your bitch out like a bad pill. I know that you mad, you a has-been. Beat you like I teach your name is notice be the shit when you broke. Like a stress out, I'm coming at your throat. Kevin Hart, young nigga, you was a joke. They fit it for me in these streets, I'm the dope. On Facebook in a week, you was a hoe. Overseas, B's, VS, and them folks. Swimming with the fishes, ball, hope you can float. Look, my red beam, turn your head to look nigga, chain for fame, stay 10 times 100. Oh, they throw salt on my name, mom. 10 times 100. Man, these young nigga too lame, mom. 10 times 100. But this shit just come with the game, stay 10 times 100. 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 For real, all they throw dirt on my name, mom. 10 times 100. All these young niggas too lame, mom. They said I be pissing on niggas shit. I guess I got a bad bladder. We had to little brother checking in, said don't shoot like the lives matter. You niggas be faking, you actors. CEO of being gang, little bitch, I'm the captain. Collar can't the Panthers. Pull up on me, you won't leave. That's how I be pissing on niggas shit. I guess I got a bad bladder. We had to little brother checking in, said don't shoot like the lives matter. You niggas be faking, you actors. CEO of being gang, little bitch, I'm the captain. Collar can't the Panthers. Pull up on me, you won't leave. Turn a little bug in the Casper. When the nigga chain for fame, stay 10 times 100. Oh, that throws out on my name, 10 times 100. Man, these young nigga too lame, 10 times 100. But me, this shit just come with the game, stay 10 times 100. My shit, 10 times 100. 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 My name, 10 times 100. All these young niggas too lame, 10 times 100. 1K. Hey, 10 times 100. 10 times 100. For real, for real. For real, for real. Black lives matter. When you broke. Hey, look. Running over be the shit when you broke.